Hey guys, welcome back to the Ad Lib Podcast. Today is episode number, it's episode 30. It's my age. Episode 30. So welcome guys. Today it's me and Joe for now. Franco will hopefully be joining us a little later. So first of all, Joe, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm very tired, but my spirits are high. How are you?
I'm also very good. I went to watch Indiana Jones today, Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny, which we'll talk about later on. And, we'll talk about it later on. But to be honest, anytime I hear the Indiana Jones theme, it puts me in a good mood. Although, obviously, we'll talk about how the theme is used throughout the movie. But even just at the end, just hearing the whole theme in a cinema, it's just like a nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just go to the cinema just to listen to the theme, to be honest, and I'll be happy with that. But that theme just puts me in a really good mood. So yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I'm in a very good mood.
And
we finished. Yeah, it's a very good theme. But I have stuff to say about the soundtrack as well in the movie, which. But we also cooked octopus, which I love. So that's
Lovely.
a good thing. By the way, Joe, because I had to ask you a question about food. And I forgot to ask you before, but might as well ask you now.
Mm-hmm.
So you posted on Instagram like a week ago, I think. You were cooking that chicken kebab. Were you?
Yeah,
cooking,
making Greek heroes.
Yes, heroes. And you put the chicken on the stick, right?
Yep.
How do you cook it then? Like, do you put it where do you put it in the oven?
Basically, I take all the trays out of the oven and I put one at the bottom. And I just put it in one tray at the bottom. I believe, I think I do it on 150 for about an hour and a half. Okay. And then just to crisp it up, I turn it up to 200 fan for about like 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Usually I put it on grill to crisp it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I find grill it tends to not get like just the top kind of crisps.
Yes,
with the grill, it's a bit too harsh. I find fan setting a bit easier, but
yes, I think since it's like gyros and you've got lots of chicken piled up on each other, top part will blacken. And talking about blacken, have you heard about the movie Blackening, Joe?
I saw a trailer for it in the cinema last time, and I'm kind of in love with it. I don't know what it is. It seems really funny and really silly, so I'm in.
It does, and unfortunately, it's not coming out of Malta, so.
I mean, water wet.
There's also another very good comedy coming out in America. I think it came out today. Joyride, it's called.
I saw the trailer for that as well. That kind of looked like, I guess, like invoking like Bridesmaids and The Hangover a little bit. That kind of like group.
Reminded me of The Hangover.
Yeah, like ragtag group comes together kind of humor, which it could be really funny.
By the way, today I am joined by my plant friend.
Oh, new background, plant friend.
There's a lot more work to do on the background, by the way. But money is what it is.
Yes.
We're improving our house room by room. Unfortunately, the study is one of the least important for my girlfriend, who's obviously an architect, and she's the one who plans everything.
Yeah.
But shall we get into it, Joe?
Yeah,
we've got lots of news to talk about, lots of trailers. So obviously, guys, this is the Ad Lib Podcast. Here we talk about movies, TV series, and video games. Today we have some trailers to talk about. So we've got 3 trailers, I believe. Yeah, we've got one for Suicide Squad, the anime series, which was announced with a teaser trailer. We've got a teaser trailer also for Bird Box Barcelona, which is coming out quite soon, actually, July 14th. I would assume on Netflix, right? Because that also came out on Netflix. Yeah, Netflix. And we've got a Five Nights at Freddy's trailer, which I mean, we can talk about for a minute or so, and then talk about something different. and yeah, we obviously cannot forget the Dune trailer, which I think we and Joe will have an interesting discussion about that. So those are the trailers. Then we've got some news. We've got some local news, actually. We've got the Mediterrane Film Festival to talk about. This massive, extravagant event, which definitely there's stuff to talk about there. The box office, as always, leading one disappointment after another. We've got a potential SAG strike to talk about, and how that's going to influence and impact the movies and series we watch, basically from next year. And then we've got a few movies me and Joe definitely wish we could have gotten, like Boba Fett R-rated spaghetti western.
Yeah.
We've got Zack Snyder helm Star Wars, which also would have been R-rated. And to conclude, we're going to talk about Barney. So that's the news we have for today. After that, we've got some reviews. We've got a review for Nimona, which was released this week on Netflix. Very, very fun movie. We'll talk about that. And we've also obviously got the latest Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny to talk about. But first, Joe, our week so far. So what have you been up to? What have you watched? What have you played?
Not to rain on your parade, but you actually forgot one thing that we're going through today as well, which is we're going to reassess our most anticipated films of the year.
Yes. And that as well. So we're basically, Joe came up with the idea. Joe, well, you can go ahead.
Well, basically, because we had done earlier in the year, it's like 400 episodes ago now, or at least it feels like that. We made our list of our 10 most anticipated films coming out this year. We've obviously seen some of those so far. And we're just going to take a look back at our respective lists and just the films obviously that we have seen, what we thought of them, where they kind of stack up, and how the year's been so far and what we have to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, shall we get into it? Let's start off with what we've been up to. Joe.
For me, not all that much. The only contribution I have to make this week, I did my review on The Bear last week before I'd even finished the show. I was one episode shy. And I had said in full confidence, I believe the final episode is going to be absolutely brilliant and I'm going to love it. And I'm apparently really smart because I was absolutely right. The Bear is sweeping declaration. Now, people know me. I love Succession. I am the Barry stan on this show. I am beating the drum for Barry. Anytime someone says, I need a new TV show to watch, I go, you should watch Barry straight away. Sweeping declaration, The Bear is better than both of those. The Bear season 2.
Okay.
Sweeping declaration. It is my favorite TV show this year. It will take a lot to beat it, like a lot. I'm actually really happy that now my girlfriend finally finished season 1 and she's going to start season 2, so I have the excuse to go back and watch it again. But apart from that, I've only watched Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And no other TV. I now have a Barry in Succession shaped hole in my heart, which can never be filled.
Yeah. It's tough. Have you been playing anything, Joe, by any chance?
I actually picked up Jedi Survivor again for the first time in a while. Because I did think to myself, like, you know what? I bought that game. I should try and finish it. And I believe I'm on the final boss, but it's kicking my ass a bit. So I'm kind of giving that I try a couple of times, I get angry, I put the controller down, and I leave. So you guys will be the first to know when I eventually jump that hurdle and get over it.
Yeah. In my case, I watched a few series. I'm going to start off with this series we had commented about like a few weeks ago. We had to watch the trailer, and I thought this looks interesting. And generally, Apple TV do some good stuff. And I'm glad I started it because it's actually a very, very good series. Not like a awards-winning series or anything, but a pretty decent series. It's called Hijack. Starring obviously Idris Elba. Basically, the whole thing rests on Idris Elba's shoulder. But to be fair, the supporting cast do not do a poor job or anything. But obviously, most of the acting chops go, and most of the good lines go to Idris Elba. And basically, as you can imagine from the title, a plane from Dubai to London is hijacked, and they're on this obviously 7-hour flight. And so we've got on one case, hello, Franco.
Hey, how you going?
All right, you good, Franco?
Wait, you read the reviews? No.
We're
Okay.
We're going through Andrea's week.
Okay. Shanna, guys, how are you doing?
Good.
Very good.
Okay,
Good.
so sorry popping in right now, but just came in with because I had to do some work and still going. He's using Opera. How come?
Yes, I am. So this week, I don't know if you guys heard about the Twitter thing, the 600 tweets.
Oh yeah.
So basically, Elon Musk, being the amazing person he is, let's keep it that way, decided that obviously firing 3/4 of your workforce is going to lead to problems.
Yeah.
So Elon Musk's solution to that problem is reduce the amount of tweets or limit the amount of tweets a person can see per day. And his excuse was people need to leave their mobile and go outside and touch grass. That's his response to
no,
why
well,
are you limiting people from seeing tweets?
And data scraping, he said. No.
And data scraping, yes.
Data scraping. I mean, he's most likely he's the guy who's scraping, but the bottom of the barrel. That's
So I saw a tweet from Opera, and they were like, we managed to stop these Twitter limitations. You can see as many tweets as you want through Opera. And so I was like, yeah, I'll use it. Plus, it's very good for gaming as well. Apparently, when you're playing games, it detects you're playing a game, so it reduces all the all the memory that the browser usually takes up. I tested it. I used like 20 tabs open with different stuff as I was playing Diablo, and like no problems at all. No problems at all. So far so good. I'm happy with Opera. Unfortunately, Riverside doesn't support Opera, so I'm using Microsoft Edge with Riverside, and the rest is Opera.
Okay.
Franco, I was talking about Hijack. You remember we had watched the trailer for this.
Yeah. How's it going so far?
So far, very good. As I was saying, Idris Elba is very good. Like, I don't even need to say it. Like, of course, Idris Elba is good in it. But it's basically about this plane from Dubai to London that is hijacked, and Idris Elba is in this like interesting position where like, is he helping them? Is he against them? What role is he playing? It's a very, very, very interesting role he's in this movie. Yeah, I'm very happy so far with the 2 episodes that came out. I believe it comes out every Wednesday, so I'm really looking forward to watching the 3rd episode tomorrow, to be honest.
And okay, I thought it's 15 minutes. It's not 15 minutes long each episode.
No.
Okay,
I think no, it's like 50. Actually, it was around like almost an hour, I believe. One of the episodes was definitely almost about an hour, between 50 to 1 hour. It's good. Okay. It's good stuff, though. It's good. It's good riveting drama, and the twist at the end of the 2nd episode was really good. I was like, oh shit, I need to see more.
Okay.
So unlike with The Crowded Room, for example, because I stopped watching The Crowded Room, I got burnt out of that series. It's like, this is not going anywhere, and I just stopped. Or like with The Idol, which was horrific on many accounts, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Hijack really caught my attention in this at the way the 2nd episode ended, which is a good sign, and made me want to watch the 3rd episode. The other thing I've been watching, apart from obviously the movies, Nimona and Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny, was Secret Invasion. I watched the 2nd episode of Secret Invasion. By the time this comes out, probably the 3rd episode will be out. But so to be honest, I really don't get the hate this series is getting. It's not the fastest of series. Like, yes, there is. It's slow. But it's interesting stuff. I mean, you've got some fantastic actors on screen. Like Olivia Colman is having the time of her life, snapping off people's fingers, and they're showing it. And this is a Disney Plus series, and I was quite impressed. I was like, this is on Disney Plus. They show Olivia Colman snapping off a guy's finger. No blood, but it does show, which is quite impressive. And a ton of people are shot, and like they're seen being shot, and a bit of red shown. So it's quite a mature series, and I'm interested, and I want to continue watching it as well. Ben Mendelsohn is really good. Samuel L. Jackson, obviously, charisma galore. Overall, I'm quite impressed. I don't get the hate it's getting, to be honest. That's pretty much my week. I've also been playing a lot of Diablo 4 again, because I unfortunately, due to corrections and whatnot, I didn't have time to continue it. And I've been having a really good time playing Diablo 4. In fact, that's going to be one of the things I comment about from the most anticipated. So far, so good with Diablo 4.
There was also a patch, right, recently, which super boosted the Necroma.
Tons of patches. They're constantly nerfing stuff that's broken. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm like, it's a good thing. They're paying 100% attention to keeping the game really balanced. At the same time, you're like, I built this character one way. Now you nerfed the one thing that made it broken. So now I have to, either start a new character or, see how you're going to change. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about how the amount of balance patches that are coming out. To be honest, it's a positive thing, though. You don't want one class and one style of class to be dominating the rest. What about you, Franco? What have you been up to?
So basically, working. I finally moved away, except for a couple of applications, from Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects. I'm fully on DaVinci Resolve. So I'm really finding it very intuitive and interesting, especially with the node base. Like I'm seeing how things are built up. So it's quite interesting. In fact, I did some animations on it now. Looking forward to keep on brushing up these skills. Watched Sanctuary. Have you guys watched Sanctuary?
No, I
Apart
haven't.
from Joe.
Joe
Okay.
has. Joe has.
I saw
We
it at
can.
the festival.
Is it possible to review it today or?
We can add the thing. Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that's it so far. Otherwise, haven't been keeping up much. Unfortunately, I have to say this, and I want to dedicate this episode to a good friend of mine who passed away, Andrew Cambry. I hope I think he's definitely in a better place, making the people over there happier. It's been a tough couple of days, but some people. I was thinking about how some people say that it's pointless leaving a legacy. I mean, this guy, Andrew, is the reason why we should leave an amazing good legacy, especially seeing all the outpouring of grief and dedications to the person that he was. I'm not exaggerating. I would consider him as Malta's Renaissance man. He was so talented.
True, man of many talents.
So talented, and I'm happy to have been witness of it, and I hope I could at least have, how shall I say, keep his legacy alive with a percentage of his genius that Andrew was. So condolences to his friends and family, unfortunately that's it. Otherwise, strangely enough, I met Pedro Pascal. And that was a very interesting thing. Not only that, but I also met Eddie, Joseph Quinn, the guy who plays Eddie in Stranger Things 5. And I went up to him. I'm like, is it true that he's coming back to life? Eddie is like, I don't know.
Back on the Ad Lib Podcast.
Sorry?
Back on the Ad Lib Podcast, yeah?
Yeah. But in fact, that was the question he asked me. Like, what is the Ad Lib Podcast all about?
We've been through that already.
We've been through that.
False start.
So what did he say, Franco? What did he say? Sorry, Eddie.
No, Joseph Quinn, one, he's very nice. Pedro Pascal, I think he's getting, understandably annoyed. Many people stopping him, asking for photos. By the way, listeners and viewers, please do not take photos. Just go speak to them, then ask them for a photo. Not immediately, hey, can I take a photo? Because it can tend to be like socially draining.
Yeah.
Common courtesy.
Common courtesy. He's Pedro Pascal has good vibes. Joseph Quinn as well is like, he told me like, it's fine. We're also in awe that we are working with Pedro Pascal, and he's like how's your evening? Yeah, we're having drinks. He's like, they were going to have some wine next to the seaside. Nice. There was also Fred Hershinger, the guy. I think he played an antagonist in Fear Street, and for the life of me, when I saw him, I recognized him and I couldn't remember him where I saw him, and I felt so sorry because I recognized Joseph Quinn, recognized Pedro Pascal, and then this guy is like, oh, that guy.
Oh shit, Fred Hershinger, he's in White Lotus season 1. I love that guy.
Yeah,
which character, Joe?
He's the younger brother.
Yes, he's here. He's
really good. He's really funny. He's a very good actor.
Good. He's good.
Yeah.
I'll tell this here now. We love that kid so much. How old is he? Franco, how old does he look?
I think he's 21 as well. He's 21.
According to Google,
he was really
23.
young. 23.
23, yeah, 23.
He's going to be in Kraven the Hunter.
Oh boy. Yeah, but Joseph Quinn is like, I thought, is it true that it's coming? That Eddie is coming back to life? And he's like, maybe not. We'll see. It's like, and I went immediately, but where are the stakes? Where are the stakes? They took it as on their stride basically. But he's a very nice guy, and let's see my next celebrity brush. What will be? Paul Mescal, I've been seeing a lot, but it's like, okay, every single time. Mescal.
Yeah, you're on a first name basis now.
Yes.
Paolo.
Yeah. Ana Paolo. Anyway.
Nice.
No, but that's it, guys. So let's on with the show.
On with the show.
And what don't they have to forget? Yeah, actually, also Joseph Quinn told me not to forget to subscribe, like, and follow us on Spotify and YouTube, guys.
Very important.
I was
very
say,
important.
Franco, your next one with one of these, if you meet like another famous person, you have to get a selfie video with them and be like if you meet Ridley Scott, be like, Ridley, like, give us your question. And there's Ridley Scott. Guys, what's the podcast about? If you do that, I'll actually give you 50 euros.
Okay.
Hand to God, if you do that, 50 in the bank straight away.
Actually, not to be. I want a tip from you guys, because afterwards I'm like, shit, I should have just said, hey guys, we're doing a film podcast. Mm-hmm. And what would be your approach, do you think?
I mean, my approach has kind of always just been be polite about it, and the worst thing they can say is no.
All right, I should try, because
I would give context, be like, look, like, we have this podcast, we're the only one in Malta, it's just me and two of my friends, we're trying to like get it going for a local audience. If you had the time, we would love to have you on. Don't be it like, you should come on the podcast. Say, if you had the time, we would love to have you. And
no.
Some people are really, really...
Same approach.
Some people really kind of respond to that. But again, the worst they can say is, I'm so sorry, I'm busy. These people, despite the fact they're very like A-list celebrities in most cases, they're also not assholes. They're not going to turn around and be like, fuck you, I'm not coming on your podcast.
Pascal, Paul Mescal, they all, seeing their interviews, they all seem like really, really down-to-earth people.
But I think genuinely, like, any celebrity you had to ask, unless it was like the worst day of their life, if they didn't want to do it or they couldn't do it, they would just be like, I'm really sorry, I'm busy. And in that case, you just go, thank you for your time anyway.
Most probably, you have a podcast? No, thanks.
This is Jared Leto.
Nope.
You can bait them as well, Franco, because you can go, look, I have a podcast. It's called the Ad Lib Podcast, and they go, the Ad Lib Podcast. What's that all about?
We have to record exactly. No. But we'll see. What else was I was going to say? Yeah. So on the next section of the show.
Definitely. So moving on. Before we start with the trailers, actually, guys, I wanted to mention this. Unfortunately, this week we also lost Alan Arkin, who I'm sure
very sadly
many of us have seen on TV or in movies. So US actor Alan Arkin, who won an Oscar and a BAFTA for his role as the outrageous granddad in the film Little Miss Sunshine, has died aged 89. Arkin appeared in Ben Affleck's Oscar-winning Argo as well. His death was confirmed by his three sons in a family statement on Friday. You can just mention this. Michael Douglas, his co-star in the Netflix show The Kominsky Method, I haven't watched this, guys, led the tributes, calling him a wonderful actor who left an indelible mark. So rest in peace, Alan Arkin. Guys, I don't know if you want to pass a comment about this. Joe.
It's a big loss, very sad. Obviously, he got to live longer than most do from his generation, to be fair. That's and
true.
He always seemed like a decent person. I've liked him in a lot of roles that he's taken on. Condolences to his family and any friends. That's all I can really say.
Franco?
No, same. I remember him in Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah.
Glen Ross. I remember seeing him in other movies, Little Miss Sunshine as well. Sunshine, sorry. I mean, it's another one. another legend lies in peace now.
Yep, indeed. So that is then very sad news about Alan Arkin. Moving on then to the trailers. Guys, I don't know if you watched this, the Suicide Squad anime series, which I don't know if this is a common thing to happen. Is it common for a series or a movie to be announced with already a teaser trailer? Like, I don't remember too many happening.
It depends. I find in like the world of like anime and like especially in like with games as well. Yes, it happens a lot with games.
Games,
especially.
yes. Anime, I can't comment. I'm not an anime guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention I started Attack on Titan, by the way, in my
Ooh, okay.
intro. Yeah, I started Attack on Titan, by the way. But I mean, I really don't have much to comment about as well after watching just one episode. Like,
Yes,
I'll
it's tough to judge that show on its first episode
Yeah.
because that show fucking goes places.
It does. I've heard it does. But,
First, I've only seen the first season, but anyway, sometime around I will. This is like my Andor.
Or your Barry.
I will exactly, or my Barry. finish first season, then second season. Minyaf meta. No, there was the Star Wars anime series and as well. I mean, will it work? Will it not work? There was also Arkham, Batman.
There was Batman Ninja, and it wasn't very
Batman
good.
Ninja wasn't very good.
That's nothing to do with it being anime. Just the story wasn't very good.
No. The like the drawing was great, but
Yes,
the story was
animation
like
fantastic. Yeah.
And what is an isekai?
So, what is this about? DC Comics mainstays Harley Quinn and the Joker are leaving Gotham City for a more exotic locale in the just-announced anime series Suicide Squad Isekai. DC has also released a new trailer for the series. As the just-unveiled official website for the show promises, the most maddening worlds collide in an epic and violent fantasy with the strongest lineup of creators. Trailer features Harley Quinn and her sometimes partner in crime, the Joker, causing their traditional brand of mayhem in a neon-lit Gotham City before being transported to a much different place. A sunny fantasy realm populated by massive dragons, heroic knights, hulking orcs, and belligerent pigmen. Like this, I mean, I've watched the trailer. Well, I'm like, is this Suicide Squad's trailer or like an Attack on Titan trailer? Also often offers a glimpse at the Suicide Squad's traditional no-nonsense government handler, Amanda Waller, which may portend that more members of the secretive government Black Ops team composed of jailed supervillains could show up. Will be a collaboration between Warner Brothers Japan and WIT Studio, a Japanese animation house best known for animating the first 3 seasons of the mega hit Attack on Titan. And obviously that is what inspired me to start Attack on Titan in the first place, reading this news. Anyways, let's have a quick look at the trailer. Unfortunately, our viewers on YouTube, obviously our listeners on Spotify, definitely can't watch it. But unfortunately, guys, recently, a couple of weeks ago, Franco.
No, we will reinterpret the trailer with interpretive dance to both our listeners and our viewers.
No, but to explain why I'm covering the trailers, unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago, our video was blocked by Netflix because Netflix AI noticed that Joe and I think it was me and Joe at that point, were shitting on One Piece trailer. So no,
Netflix. First they take away shared memberships. What's next?
So anyways, guys, so this is the trailer. Not a lot is shown, to be honest. It's pretty much we see just a look at the main characters. We see a quick look at Harley Quinn, which we can see on the screen right now. There's a quick look at the Joker. Now, the fact that obviously it's WIT Studio, I don't know, guys, what you think about that. Any thoughts, any first impressions?
They are a good studio. Again, it's going to depend on what the story is. Like the animation we're seeing now looks really good. It looks unique. It looks fantastic. It's just all going to depend on story, unfortunately. It looks like it's going full anime and full DC, which is to say it looks fucking bonkers. Probably a good thing. So we'll see.
Let's see.
Franco, your thoughts?
No, same. Because I was kind of wary whether it's going to be like this 3D anime. Because do you find it that it still hasn't clicked they did it with Trigun. I don't know if you remember back in the day there was Trigun, and they did another season but with 3D. It just doesn't hit as the plain like 2D or at least 2.5D animation. Because at least Attack on Titan, the amalgamation of 3D and 2D is done well enough, especially when they go.
It gets a lot better in later seasons as well. Like some of it is breathtaking in Attack on Titans. In season 4, some of the way they mix the 2D and the 3D animation is like they really got it right in that show.
Yeah, and I think they didn't they do it when they just fly around.
They started like doing it. They incorporated into like lots of different stuff as it went on.
Okay. By the way, Andrea, avoid the live action movie of Attack on Titan.
Yes.
There is. God. I know there's a live action movie. There's also an anime movie. I don't know if that's part of the whole story or.
No, the anime movie maybe you can watch it, but the live action movie.
Or if it's just a long episode. It might be just a long episode, which
could be a long episode.
When I was looking it up. Though I generally assume that the live action anime movie, apart from the one Joe you had mentioned like a couple of weeks ago, are generally terrible. That's my assumption.
Yeah.
Put it that way. But those are our comments about the Suicide Squad anime trailer. I'm interested. I'll watch this. Like, I'm interested in this. So we'll see what comes up next. I love the sounds opera makes us when you close a window, when you press on, when you type. None of you guys ever use it.
Is it operatic?
Joey taking Franco's road. Next trailer.
It is an operatic. That's what it is.
Bird Box Barcelona sees terror soar to new heights.
Pass.
Really?
Can we skip this one?
Wait, yeah. You hated the original Bird Box.
I couldn't give less of a shit. Like if you paid me, I couldn't care less.
Generally pass, man.
I thought the first Bird Box was just fucking stupid. It was really dumb.
It was stupid. I didn't hate it though. I didn't hate it.
And then they tried.
I didn't get the hype.
Yeah, like if people were like, "Oh, it's the scariest movie ever," and you're like, "Shut up!" This is fucking...
And the problem with this one is this was immediately on the heels of oh my god,
A Quiet Place.
Yeah, A Quiet Place. Yeah. Thank you.
A much better movie.
That's it. You know, I haven't watched the second one, guys. Have you watched the second one?
Second one is good.
Second one's good. It's really good.
It's really good.
No, they're both. Yeah, they're both strong entries.
Yeah.
I mean, to watch
and this is really like immediately on the heels of A Quiet Place. I mean, I don't know. And depends like how much they push it as well.
They'll push it probably.
No, they will. They will definitely push it. It was a massive hit.
Hey Netflix, I'm about to shit on your fucking movie because I didn't like the first one. This looks stupid as well.
AI. Blocked. Even though we won't show anything, the video will still be blocked.
I'm sorry, like I'm all for suspending like belief when it comes to, especially for horror films, and like you have to have an imagination and stuff. But the idea that you can't see something as like the whole shtick for your horror is fucking so stupid. I'm sorry. Like I can't get behind it. To me, this is like akin to do you guys remember the M. Night Shyamalan film The Happening?
Yeah, with the
Bird Box to me was like
yes.
Like, oh, it's lazy and it thinks it's clever and I hate it.
Wait, when was Bird Box? When was Bird Box released?
2018.
Okay, no, because
it was like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, I thought it was released during the what you call it, the pandemic. That's why.
Same thing I told Joe. I thought it was a COVID movie.
Are people literally seeing something and killing themselves in this film?
Yes.
This is The Happening. This is M. Night Shyamalan. You just ripped off M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening.
Yes.
Well done. You ripped off a shit movie.
And no Sandra Bullock, huh? In this as
Wait,
well.
was that
Oh,
Diego?
look, that's Diego.
Diego Calva. What the
Diego-
fuck are you doing with your career, my friend?
No, most probably it could have been before what's his name?
Probably.
Before Babylon.
Yeah.
Who's the director? Is it Jaume Balaguero or
Good question. So, who's the director? Nothing here.
Maybe there isn't one. Maybe they got
John
AI to direct
Malkovich.
I John Malkovich? Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly. Oh, interesting cast. Who is the director? Where's the name of the director? I hate how Star Collider never show the name of the director in their.
Which
David
there will
Pastor
be
and Alex Pastor, or Pastor, I guess.
Pastor.
There's two of
The
them.
Pastor brothers.
Oh, here we are. David Pastor and who are they, guys? I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Selfless. The Last Days.
The Last Days, Career. None of them ring a bell, to be honest.
Me neither. I mean, Last Days. Last Days. It was quite. As far as I remember, it was highly regarded. As far as I remember, but I could be wrong. Oh yeah, there you go. Is it that one? No,
it's not.
no, that's not the one.
Another Last Days. When I saw award-winning. It's not even.
No. It wasn't. It wasn't award-winning, but this one
This is it. Yeah.
I mean, 6.1. I haven't seen it yet, but
we can't comment about it. I haven't seen it.
Wait,
Exactly.
these guys are perfect for Bird Box, because look at the synopsis of this film. In 2013, a mysterious epidemic spreads across the planet.
Irrational
Humanity
fear.
opens spaces. What the fuck? What is it with
No.
schlocky fucking apocalyptic
And Barcelona.
scenarios?
Same city as well.
Oh, good fucking grief, man. I'm glad Netflix are wasting their money on this shit.
Look at Opera offering to write a haiku with a word.
I'm glad
Anyways.
I'm glad they don't pay for that fucking service anymore.
I saw this one guy.
Franco, you sent this in the chat, like 5 for our Spotify listeners. We're now talking about the trailer to Five Nights at Freddy's. Again, I honestly know nothing about this. Like the game, I know, like Joe mentioned before, has like a cult following.
Yeah, huge following.
It's a horror elements game, but
Yeah.
I know nothing apart from that. Like I've never seen any gameplay except from the fucking stupid looking teddy bear or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Franco,
It's quite.
you-
So I used to watch Markiplier play this. It has quite the jump scares. I feel watching the trailer that since this is under the Blumhouse production house, there could be a good of promise. Yeah, it's excellent. There is they're the producers of Intrigen. We took Intrigen a bit not seriously. Then we want to watch the movie. It's like, hey, this is not bad. This is quite enjoyable. So it looks fun. And it's interesting to see. Oh my God, what's his name?
Josh Hutcherson.
Josh Hutcherson, thank you. And like he's a single father. That's a new role for him.
Yeah.
So there's an evolution
he still
to the
looks
actor.
12 years old though.
And
Which, like, fair play to him. He's doing something very right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the way to go, basically.
Yeah. I think at worst, what we'll get with this is a very well-made, okay horror film, which is what we tend to get from Blumhouse at the least.
Yeah.
We either get something quite good, or at least it's extremely well-made and looks very good, but the story is a bit lacking, which is never a totally bad thing. At least it's a reliable name to get behind. And I think there'll be a lot of people that this is like their secret fear, like especially Americans, like who's that fucking like Chuck E. Cheese? What's it called?
Chuck E. Cheese, yes. That's how it all started. Like they took this the premise from Chuck E. Cheese, because it was abandoned. So there's lots of those characters. Bunny.
Look, guys, it's better than people seeing something they can't see and they randomly kill themselves. Okay,
seeing something they can see.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Trailer doesn't look half bad, to be fair.
No, that's pretty sinister.
Yeah.
And again, it
No,
looks
shit.
extremely competently made.
How, Franco? How bloody is the game? Is it bloody at all?
No, it's mostly jump scare. It's mostly
Yeah.
jump scare
Oh,
because
okay,
you have
all
to
right.
you have I think as far as I remember it was you have to avoid them following you.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the game is mostly, as far as I know, played. You're basically watching different security cameras, trying to like find stuff which is going on, like
Interesting.
throughout the restaurant.
It's a nice niche. Interesting niche. Okay. To be honest, this trailer did catch my attention a little bit. That's a good sign. It's a good thing when a trailer catches your attention for something you were ridiculing like a couple of minutes before. It's always a good sign. And so that comes out, scheduled to make its debut on October 27 in theaters and on Peacock. I hope they don't release it also on Peacock on the same day.
Yeah,
That would be a big
I don't think Blumhouse will do
mistake.
that.
No. Probably it'll release in Malta, though. I know I mentioned this to Joe before. A lot of students are crazy about Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's because it's an old game.
It's quite old now. Yeah, it's
It is.
back
Yeah.
to 2018. But there were like a series
it's older than that, I think.
Really? Yeah,
As far
we
as I know,
can check.
it's old. Like,
You know, the thing is, though, I think like Franco was saying, I think a lot of YouTubers...
2014, okay.
All right.
Okay.
A lot of YouTubers play it on their YouTube channel. And I think that then inspires kind of like, kids who watch them to then go play it. Like it does happen to be sometimes.
Yes,
for sure.
When a YouTuber I know plays a game and says, wow, this game is really good. I'm like, interesting. And it's probably quite cheap as well. So maybe that
and
helps.
sometimes YouTubers upload videos playing the ukulele, and
Oh my God, the ukulele.
sorry for this tangent. I'm sorry for the tangent.
Have you watched it, Joe?
I don't think I have. No, I think I've seen a few memes alluding to it, but I'm not.
I'll send you the video after. It's amazing.
Joe, oh my God, delusional, like almost to a psychopathic degree. Toxic gossip trains.
Oh my God! Now, guys,
there you go.
Please note that anything Joe says from now till the end of this trailer is wrong.
Okay.
Because I was going to talk about the best trailer I've watched in the past few years, which is the latest trailer for Dune Part 2. When I saw the news on my mobile that the Dune Part 2 trailer came out, I drove as quickly as I could home, switched on my television, 4K quality, speakers as loud as possible, close all the windows, I wouldn't bother anyone, and I played this trailer, and oh my God. I was like, oh my God, it's so good. So, Joe.
And at least even what's his name, Austin Butler, he really removed all the makeup and he looks great in this one. He looks really villainous.
And somehow out of nowhere he stopped doing the Elvis voice as well. Not like that was a fucking marketing ploy to try and win an Oscar.
Oh, man, Rebecca Ferguson is so good in Dune, man. On her face is so expressive. And Zendaya looks really good as well in this.
He is such Denis Villeneuve. He is such a great colorist, I would say. Like the color is so amazing. Like even the contrast between.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, just Blade Runner 2049, guys.
But Blade Runner 2049 is one of my all-time favorite movies. So
to be, he also had the best cinematographer ever on that film, Roger Deakins.
Roger Deakins. This, but Greg Fraser. Greg Fraser is not bad, huh?
No, he's very good. But I mean, like,
if you know what he's not wrong though, with the trailer, Joe.
You gonna let me cook?
That they. No, yeah. They revealed Duncan. That's Duncan. No, not Duncan.
Gurney Halleck.
Yeah, of his returns. Like they could have left it out. You know,
I've already watched.
It's my biggest problem with the trailer. The trailer looks good. As it looks beautiful. It looks epic, and the colors are awesome. We get to see some new cast members. Like we just saw Our Lady and Savior right there. I love you. We just saw Christopher Walken right there. I love you also.
Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh.
But
Can you go
someone
back?
who
Those
read,
eyes.
yeah, as
Those
someone who read
eyes
the
are so
books,
chilling.
it shows you way too much. Did we need a 3-minute Dune Part 2 trailer?
True.
It shows
Can you
you
imagine-
way too much. Like, Gurney Halleck in the book, Surviving, is a surprise. Like, and then you just drop it in the fucking trailer. Like, come on.
But this looks
lands.
amazing. This.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
You know,
Can you
and
imagine-
again, radical opinion, I'd rather not have seen that, because imagine seeing that then in the film for the first time and having no fucking idea that's coming.
True.
You
as
know?
well.
Look at his eyes. Look at Chalamet's eyes when he says that his father was a coward, or what was it? It was a weak man.
Yeah.
And like Chalamet's eyes. Oh, man.
Your father was a coward. I am the emperor. That is my stupid rendition of Christopher Walken.
That's like my only problem. It shows so much. And there's obviously going to be more, because the film is bound to be like 3 hours long, and Villeneuve is a
100%.
fantastic director. But like, I'd rather be teased and have my intrigue go up. And again, I've read the book. I know what's going to happen, because I've read the books, unless they change it drastically, which I don't think they're going to
Which
do.
they
This
It's just I'd rather have seen less, and I think more like people who are like really, really into Dune, and maybe they went and they read the books and stuff, will be disappointed with this trailer. A friend of mine who's a huge fan of Dune, he even likes David Lynch's Dune for what it was, and he's read the books and everything, and he does like Villeneuve's first outing. He's like, this looks fantastic. And he's like, but why the fuck did they show so much in that trailer? That's my
No, they do. I agree. No,
My
I agree.
only
I,
gripe-
I agree.
What if I have a theory? Most probably because the first Dune was not as well received as we expected to be. We liked it, of course, because we're
critically it was a darling.
89% on Rotten Tomatoes.
critically was okay.
Yeah.
Audience wise was a dud.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
But
maybe
Dune is always going to be like, this is the same problem. Like when Blade Runner 20, like to talk about another one of Villeneuve's films, when Blade Runner 2049 came out, Warner Brothers for some reason tried to market it as like this huge fucking blockbuster it costs millions and it's going to make millions. But how many people do you meet on the street? Go to a bus stop right now, find 10 people, and go, guys, thoughts on Ridley Scott's Blade Runner? I guarantee you, maybe 2 of them will be like, I've seen Blade Runner, I kind of like it. The other 8 are going to be like, what the fuck is that? And the exact same with Dune. If you go, even if you go into, maybe not a library, but if you go into a coffee shop and you see 6 people, you go, guys, Frank Herbert's Dune, what do you think? 4 of those people are going to go like, never heard of it.
Just to put things into perspective, so the first Dune made $402 million. Now that might not sound like a lot, to be fair, for a big comic book movie, for example.
That was pretty close to post-pandemic as well.
But that was very early days, pandemic. Plus, Warner Brothers made, and we commented about this. I commented about this just like 5 minutes ago with Peacock, with regard to whether they released the Five Nights at Freddy's also on Peacock. They released that day one, same day, on HBO. That's also important.
True.
So $400 million for $402.03 million, considering the pandemic. And the fact that it was released day one on HBO, which in America, majority of people have HBO, is quite a lot, I think.
Yeah, the thing is, it's gonna do well also because the star power that Timothée Chalamet and now Zendaya is going to be a big part of this film. Her star power has just risen since Euphoria and films she's done in the past 2 years since Dune. His star power has always been there. Florence Pugh coming into it is definitely going to draw people to the cinema. 100%. Like, I don't think Warner Brothers needed to blow their load this quickly on what's in the film.
And most probably, maybe because I'm seeing that there's going to be much more action set pieces when compared to the not that the first one.
Have you noticed, Franco? It's like a talking point. Like all the actors and all the director, everyone's saying like, "There's more action. There's more action. There's more action."
Okay.
The second half of the Dune book is basically a war, like a war book. This is going to be a war film traditionally. Like,
And Joe, to add on what you were saying before, and that will be a good segue to the next topic, the good word of mouth.
yeah,
Because word of mouth, when it comes to, I'm pressing on my screen on my Riverside screen. Good word of mouth is very important when it comes to the box office, as unfortunately Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny has noticed this weekend, because I think one of the main reasons why it had such an underwhelming box office weekend on its opening weekend was because of the poor word of mouth from being shown at Cannes Film Festival and being panned by the critics there. What do you think, guys? Grossed 60 million, which is not bad, which is not awful, but it cost over, I think, 300 million to make. So it's going to lose a lot of money. Franco?
It depends. I mean, I haven't seen it yet. Like, I will watch it. I'll watch it, mind you. I don't know. I mean, apparently there was also an issue with the face replacement CGI in this movie as well.
I actually disagree. But we'll get to that.
I mean, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen Chris Tuckman's review of this. He also, because he said about the CGI. Maybe he saw an early release and maybe they patched it up like they do with games now as well.
Maybe we'll see if Andrea and I agree as well. So
yeah. I have some thoughts.
Okay, but then by then I will go away. But what did you think, guys, about it? I did say it's like Chris Tuckman. What he said that's really stuck me. Sorry. Sorry. That was totally unintended. No, genuinely unintended. Unintended, genuinely. What stuck to me from his review was he said, "Don't expect this to be capture the magic of the first trilogy."
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, I agree.
But what did you think, guys? Like,
okay,
a bit of a taste.
Not bad.
Okay,
not amazing. It's okay.
It's okay. It's entertaining. It's popcorn.
I'm dubbing my thoughts as lukewarm as fuck.
Okay.
I don't hate it. I don't think it's a bad movie.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's fine.
It's a fine movie. It's a well-made movie per se, with a lot of problems. But it's a fine movie.
So it's a question of, again, did we need another indie movie? Indiana Jones movie? Yeah. Yes or no?
It's not a Crystal Skull where the first hour and a half is really fucking good, but then the last hour is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly.
But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, I don't think it reaches the heights of the first hour and 20 minutes of Crystal Skull, but it doesn't reach the lows of the fucking aliens in Indiana Jones either.
I have a hot take. Can I give it from now? Because I want to see how Franco reacts to it as well.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. Are you ready? Because I know that Andrea is a fanboy for Indiana Jones as well. Here it comes. The worst Indiana Jones is Temple of Doom.
I felt it coming. I felt it coming. This one. I'm seeing Andrea. I'm imagining you taking your heart out like that scene in the Temple of Doom.
No, as in I don't love Temple of Doom.
Fucking bizarre mess of a film.
But it's a beautiful, bizarre mess of a film.
Wholeheartedly disagree. It's
the
like
music, man. The music in it is so good.
Yes, but like
sound effect, so good.
Yeah, but like
there's a lot of weird shit.
I don't go to a film for a concert. I go to a film for a film. You know.
Yes,
as a film,
man. Crystal Skull,
the only thing, like the last hour of Crystal, not even the last hour, the last 40 minutes of Crystal Skull are a mess. Yes, they are. But the first hour and a half is like pure Spielberg magic. Like it's
yes.
Astoundingly great. The first hour and a half of Crystal Skull. They don't stick the landing. I can appreciate they went for a swing. They completely missed. They missed that swing big time.
in all honesty, I think I have to rewatch Temple of Doom because I remember
Temple
when I
of
was
Doom-
young.
Temple of Doom is just weird, and there's no heart, and for some reason it's dark, and it's just a fucking bizarre film. And like at least
You know the
with
drama
Crystal
behind
Skull,
Temple of Doom, right, Joe?
yes, it was a.
You know,
there,
he
there
didn't
is a,
want to make that movie.
Yes, completely, and that's one of the reasons why it becomes one of the worst ones, in my opinion. My thing is, when I go back to Crystal Skull,
Who didn't want to do it? Harrison or
No,
Steve?
Steven Spielberg didn't want to make that movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, his passion was like making movies hating the Nazis, basically.
yeah,
And that was one of the big reasons why. And so that's why, like, he just didn't care about this fucking temple with the,
yeah, exactly.
he just didn't want to make that movie. He
Yeah.
didn't want to make the movie.
But
Although he
my-
did meet the love of his life, right? On
I believe
Temple of
so.
Doom. So there's that.
My thing with going back to watch Crystal Skull is, at least I get that really fucking good hour and a half, and I can laugh at how bad they tried to stick the landing when they did it. Temple of Doom, the biggest offense I have with it is it's an Indiana Jones movie, and I'm bored for the entire duration. It's a
It's
boring
so well made.
fucking film.
It's very well made, though. Like technical aspects.
Yes,
are
but
fantastic.
I can appreciate if someone, I've got grey walls back here. I can appreciate that a painter came in and did a fucking great job with painting these walls. Do I want to watch him? Do I fuck? You know?
Indiana Jones and watching the walls dry.
Yes, the Temple of Paint Drying. That's what it should be called.
I need to rewatch this Temple of Doom.
No,
I'm
no,
trying to rewatch Temple of
You
Doom
don't,
this week.
because it's boring.
I need to rewatch it. I need to rewatch it to remind
And
myself.
I was too young to rewatch that movie because I only remember the part when he just grabs the heart out and this heart burns like. And I was like, it was traumatic when I was young. And I know
Crusade
there's lots
is an
of creepy
incredibly great
qualities.
sequel.
Last Crusade with Sean Connery, right?
Last Crusade's good,
Last
but it's ridiculously safe. But they needed that after Temple of Doom.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my
Anyways,
hot take.
I know.
Interesting hot take. I expected worse. So I thought you were going to say like the first hour and 20 minutes of Crystal Skull are the best Indiana Jones ever made. Madonna, I gave him an idea.
I mean, put it this way: if you cut out the entire ending of Crystal Skull and give me the first hour and a half, Raiders is still the best one because I don't even consider Raiders an Indiana Jones movie. It is Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's its own fucking thing. But if I had to rate them and you let me take the first hour and a half of Crystal Skull, it's the second best by far and away.
No.
Yeah, by far and away.
No.
Yep.
That more hot takes here, eh? Very spicy takes.
It's a bit too much.
Come at me.
Like I'll add Raiders of the Lost Ark is like amongst my top 5-10 movies ever made. So
Yeah, so that gets its own little box. It is.
that's in its own little book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a bit too much. But I understand why. I understand why. But the image of Scarlett Johansson and the fucking alien will never leave my head. I was what, 14? I was 14. Scarlett Johansson.
I don't remember ScarJo in it.
Yes. She was. Don't you remember the alien like fucking scene, man? It's stuck in my head.
Kate Blanchett. Not
Kate
ScarJo.
Blanchett, sorry.
Okay.
Kate Blanchett, sorry.
Okay.
With the fucking alien and
The cast of Crystal Skull is stacked. Because you've got Harrison Ford, Kate Blanchett, Shia LaBeouf, Ray Winston, John Hurt, Jim Broadbent in this film. Jesus Christ. Wow.
Anyways, let's move on to this topic because I'm interested to hear Joe and Franco's take on this. Not the SAG, that we'll talk about later.
Speaking of Collider.
So, for our viewers and listeners from Malta, especially, you probably have heard about this or saw some posts on social media about this. Film stars lavish Malta trips funded by taxpayers. Total cost at least €1 million from business class seats to 5-star resorts and chauffeur service. Mediterrane Film Festival was an extravagant event, to say the least. Anyways, long story short, dozens of renowned actors were flown to Malta. Malta Film Commission paid exorbitant fees exorbitant in quotation marks, to fly the visitors on business class seats, accommodate them in lavish 5-star resorts, and in some cases paid for visitors +1. Number of guests were offered a chauffeur service as well, drive them around, all expenses paid, lunches, dinners, and parties, and so on, including Jared Harris, Eric Bana, Darko Peric, Natasha
McElhone.
Oh, she was in Truman Show. Okay. Anyway, so lots of stars in Malta for this like big film festival organized by the tourism minister Clayton Bartolo and obviously film commissioner Johan Grek. We're paying a lot of money for this. This was interesting because this was quite the eye opener. Basically, this is a film critic for, I believe, Collider, and his comment was like how impressed he was at like where they put him. Is this the Hilton? Which hotel is this?
I think yeah, it is.
Dragonara. No,
Western
Dragonara.
Into the casino in the back, yeah.
Yeah. Cannot believe this is where I'm sleeping while here. If you ever get invited to cover the festival, say yes. Expect plenty of Pixar this adventure. Anyways, guys, Franco, let me start with you because you shared this with us. What are your thoughts?
No, so first things first. That doesn't cost 1 million for sure. So here's why. So the guy who made the awards and also you saw the big monument over there. There was a bit as far as the guy. Yeah, that's actually made out of a Maltese thing called Gun Hotel. So I know who the designer is, and he has a skull also made of Gun Hotel, like a human-sized skull that costs around, if I'm not mistaken, over 1,000 euros. So if you're telling me that costs at over 1,000 euros, how much does that cost? Which is not a human-sized skull, but a 3 human-sized bee over there with a wingspan of 2 human sizes. Secondly, I was also talking to some people on Facebook. Apparently, there was a short movie featuring David Williams and the voiceover by Russell Crowe. Okay, so keep in mind Russell Crowe. And if we remember correctly, when there was the Malta Film Awards, David Williams cost around 250,000 euros or 200,000 euros to engage him. 200,000 euros. And you're telling me that the short movie cost 100,000 euros? Really? And even in this article by Mark Lawrence Amit, friend of the show, Lawrence Mark, he said that at least a room in the Dragonara Resort, especially on peak season, is no joke. Huh? If you go down, it says go down.
Oh, here we are.
There.
300 per room per night this week, and some rooms cost upward of 1,300 for the weekend. Damn.
And in all honesty, I'm finding this whole shenanigan so unsustainable. But I wanted to ask, like, I was gonna say in Maltese we say Hanela Batachuch. If okay, we put a journalist in this lavish room. Are we doing this to get them back in, or is it shouldn't be? We got Eric Bana and we got Jared Harris. We got what's his name? Not Jared Harris, Russell Crowe coming as well. Aren't we putting Malta on the map, so to speak?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when we had master classes by Bellatar, we also had the. You see, and we also had what's the brother's name? They did the D'Annunzio brothers as well, who then went on to be quite well renowned. Haven't heard of these guys in ages, D'Annunzio brothers. I am genuinely Rebecca Ferguson, Joseph Calle and Rebecca Ferguson.
No, not the actress, the singer.
No,
Rebecca Ferguson. She was on X Factor because I looked her up.
So see, honestly, 1 million is a very conservative number. If the top industry people are saying it costs that much, it's and I have to say, I saw some. I don't know in what capacity some people were at the awards, but I didn't expect them to be at the awards, knowing what the that much of the work that is happening in Malta is off union. So the people will work 12-hour days. The extras are not being paid well enough. I am. It is unsustainable. I mean, it says it says here, top film industry insiders told Times of Malta they are seriously concerned over the film commission's excessive spending. It does not really foster the Maltese film industry. Absolutely right in the long run, and it's not sustainable. Absolutely agree. So okay, granted. So Maltese workers, film workers, have back-to-back work going on. Granted, that's good. That keeps the money going in. But how about we sustain the local industry?
Check. That's how you build
But
up.
but
Have
again,
consistent work without having to spend all this money.
but herein lies another problem. The investment is going so much to foreign productions that when Maltese productions are like Maltese producers ask to do something locally, film workers are refusing because it's not being paid enough. When you do something locally, you really have to do it out of your passion with half the pay, if you reach half the pay.
Yeah.
And this happened with Lutzu. I mean, and then Lutzu went ahead and won an award in Sundance.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, we shouldn't do. I mean, we shouldn't make movies to get awards, but heck, I don't think Lutz was made to win an award at Sundance, but something. It is, in all honesty, okay. And us guys, can you answer me this? What does a book launch have to do with film festivals? What does an actor making a concert have to do with a film festival? Are we like really that much up these people's ass to tell them yes, master, we'll do an event for you?
I can't understand the Maltese obsession with Russell Crowe at the moment. I just don't fucking understand it. It is bad. Why the like? And I like Russell Crowe. I like a lot of his old films. But why the fuck do we care about him at this point in time? He isn't even in Gladiator Part 2. And the Gladiator stuff is getting like way too much traction as well. But why do we give a fuck about Russell Crowe playing his guitar for a bunch of rich people? You know?
Yeah, but there it was. Like, can you go down later? Tourism Minister Clayton Burns said 1.3 million were spent on the Malta Film Week. I don't know. I genuinely and the fact that the numbers are not being put out is truly worrying. Truly worrying.
But like, here's my thing. If you're going to throw money at a big film festival, make it an actual fucking film festival. You know, like, if you're going to bring in these actors, make a jury out of them and have them judge the films in the festival and have an awards ceremony based on that, which isn't a fucking sit-down meal. You get a venue with a stage with the awards there, and you get the people to announce the awards like they do at every other festival in the world. Make it a legitimate festival. Not to harken back to the Valletta Film Festival days, because that was made by a very small team working way too hard for something which was actually great. But if you're going to throw money at it, and you're going to bring in well-known names, give them something to fucking do, rather than walk on a fucking faux red carpet and look pretty. You know? Why the fuck do we need David Walliams, whose only fucking noteworthy work was Little Britain, which would go down like a bag of shit nowadays? Why the fuck are we paying him to come and be the MC at this event? What does he have to do with Mediterranean film?
And
get fucking Alex Camilleri, the director and writer of Lutzu, to present and maybe head the jury. Someone who has a connection to Maltese cinema and Maltese films and to the industry at large. and then get other actors to be, or directors or producers to be on the jury with him, get a film submission, get masterclasses going, get workshops going, have stuff for networking events, and then you have a legitimate fucking film festival.
Here's another thing. I got invited for a masterclass, but the masterclass was at 11 in the mornings. Like, okay, because you can get leave when you go for the masterclass. Like, I mean, Maltese actors getting leave. Are you fucking joking?
Unfortunately, that is one of the things that just comes with the territory of having a festival on. Like, I'm going to Venice in September. I'm obviously going away, and I'm taking leave for that. But you kind of, if you're interested, you kind of have to do it. You need to like book the week off, and you need to go to all these things.
No, true, but I mean, knowing, I think we're well aware of how the industry is in Malta. We don't have professional actors. So this is not to take down Maltese actors. We don't do acting full time, so we don't have professional actors. Mm-hmm. Once you do it full time, then yes, you can be considered a professional actor, and we have to come to terms with this. I mean, honestly, I don't want to go too much in depth in it because I've stopped thinking about this. I'm going to do my own thing. It's not going to be easy. I'm still going to apply for something or not, but already happened that I had the door closed when I asked, listen guys, I have a short movie, I need some help with post-production. No, we don't have this. They're not even an interest to say. They just said, okay, just read the leaflet. Yeah, but the leaflet, when I read it, there's nothing that says, like, can you please guide me? I need guidance in this. No, nothing. So
the thing is, wouldn't this be the perfect opportunity to have, if you have a main competition at this festival, wouldn't this be the perfect opportunity for a short film submission from locals? And if they win, they get funding to make their actual film. Wouldn't this be the perfect opportunity to get people to actually watch short films?
There was Joe. There was. And here's the thing, Joe. Okay, so a disclaimer. This is by no means am I this is not on the creator himself who won the award. The award, the funding was presented during the Malta Film Festival. Mm-hmm. Strange already. But the creator who won the film funding was the same guy that complained at university when I went to the Q&A at the university, who complained that didn't get the funding. Essa, is this like, shut up money? Shut up, we gave you the money now? Mm-hmm. I don't.
Was his funding granted because he submitted a film and it was deemed the best one to earn the funding?
Apparently there was this 2 days of pitching. Mm-hmm. But when I saw that happening, and then he's I mean,
but like
here's the thing. He's let me get to this. He's technically good, but I saw some of his work. Story-wise, we have to improve. And he was the guy he complained, like, listen, I'm not gonna say, like, I'm not. This is not saying because my short movie is perfect. No, it's far from perfect. I've never said it's perfect. I never said this. I should have done the funding. I haven't even applied for it either way. But it's too convenient to have this guy being the guy who complained in front of the film commissioner himself, and then the film commissioner said, "Yes, we're going to meet afterwards," and then he gets the award. Is kind of it doesn't ring good to me, especially when there were more people doing the same pitching process. I'm kind of, I don't know, it doesn't feel, at least instinctively, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Now, to this creator, again, this is not his doing. This is not his fault. I hope he makes good use of his funding. But the huge lack of transparency, especially in this fucking island, is tiring. It's tiring.
Part and parcel.
So I'd rather do my own shit. I'd rather do something that I'm happy with in my own time. and that's it. And then just if they did they enjoy it, enjoy it. Plus, there was also someone's like how I'm genuinely this person being there. I'm not gonna. I have to be really careful. Because I don't know what capacity he was invited to this festival. But this person being there is also validating this excessive, like this lavish, excessive spending when workers get peanuts.
Yeah.
In a time where we know there are, like the country is in massive financial debt. Spending is being cut from a lot of important sectors, like the educational sector, at university especially. There was a lot of cutting of funds there. It's not a it's never a good image.
No, it doesn't. Let's make it clear. I'm not saying, because I'm not saying don't go to luxury meals, don't go like have fun and be merry. Far from it. But can we do it within scope, within reason?
And I think there are bigger priorities in the Maltese film industry, much better places where that money can go. Imagine $1 million being invested into Maltese productions. Imagine what a boost that would be.
Dude, Maltese productions. Why the fuck? There was the Go Talk schedule coming out. Why the fuck do we need another satire with Peppi fucking Azzopardi being the butt of the joke? Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry, Harjet. Will we be demonetized? I don't care. I'm so fucking sick and tired. Sorry, I have to be angry right now. Like, for fuck's sake. But I'm sorry, the artistic community in Malta is bringing this on their own. I wouldn't be accepting this kind of stuff. I wouldn't be accepting this kind of stuff. Are we that lacking in technique and knowledge and awareness of what's going on around us in the industry and still give shit? For fuck's sake! Come on, pull your socks up.
People are desperate, Franco, more than anything.
Yes, but if we're desperate, we don't make the but just because of desperation, we don't continue to lower the quality. No one's watching these Maltese programs because they're watching Netflix. What would you prefer watching? Would you prefer watching Go Talkies or Netflix?
Netflix, generally.
People don't know that there's Go Talkies, except for one program, maybe one decent program. The other programs are like Madonna's the same fucking. I'm not, and again, this is not on the creators. But if the creators keep accepting this kind of level of work, when they know that they're better, this is what I'm saying here. You are better. You can achieve 100, but you're giving me 50 because the people only want 50. No, you're on the wrong. You're not doing the industry any favor. And that's why I'm taking a break, because I get worked up and then I start doubting myself as if I'm doing something worthwhile. But at least in the meantime, here, like I said, like I'm at work, I'm learning a lot with the new program, so I might do something. But it's kind of a lonely road to go, which is not good. As whether people hate me or not, fuck it. But no, but I think I'm not speaking out of my ass.
No,
but I genuinely, I feel estranged, seeing the way things are going, and with this all excessive spending and people I didn't expect to see in this festival. It's really disheartening. But at the same time, it's like, what, fuck it. I'd rather do something than not do anything. It's whether it is within the system or without the system doesn't matter. At least I do my own thing. That's what I'm going to do.
Shall we move on?
And yeah, rant done.
We needed that rant, though. It was a very good rant and well deserved as well. And you get it off your stomach as well, Franco.
No, and secondly, again, this goes directly to the film commissioner. We invited let's remind our audience that we invited the film commissioner to speak his own mind on this channel, but apparently he doesn't take criticism whatsoever. So, and this lack of transparency is worrying. That is not the way you lead a film industry, especially a small film industry. We're not Hollywood here. Okay, maybe American producers do enjoy this lavishness and whatnot, whatever the fuck. But you don't give a journalist a 1,300 hotel room, guys. Or for example, you have a whole hotel floor booked for one actor, which happened here in Malta.
It's also
okay.
As far as I know, it's not normal at all for festivals to give press places to stay. Usually it's the company that the journalist works for which sorts out their accreditation and their accommodation.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know, maybe this is the technique to get people to come, but if we're punching this high at the very start, when we still have doing baby steps in the industry, there's no future. I'm sorry, it's imploding. I mean, but to put a full stop to it, I hope I'm wrong. That's all I'm going to say. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope I can eat my words in the future. But we know what happens with excessive spending, not just in arts, even in other sectors of society.
A few years later, يدخل l'auditor, يبدأ investigations start, and all the shit starts coming out then slowly. But that happens years after. We'll see.
Anyway, good luck to all the artists. Like Madonna, Saint Omer won the best screenplay, and they weren't. Where were they? Saint Omer?
Almost no one was there from those competing. Almost no one was there.
That's another big question mark that doesn't sit right with me. Why weren't they there? The creators themselves. Why wasn't the representatives there? Why were the representatives there? That doesn't sit right with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't believe Alice Diop. I don't know if she's busy or not, but fuck's sake, I think she went to speak to other festivals. No.
Oh, 100%.
Anyway.
Moving on to other frustrated actors. We don't need to really talk about this, guys. I'm just going to mention this because a lot of our viewers and listeners probably wonder, like, why do we talk about this stuff? We talk about this stuff because it will impact the stuff that comes out on television a year, 2 years, 3 years, in 3 years' time. Because of the last writers' strike there was impacted the industry a lot. Like a year, 2 years later, and we're going to have the same impact. And if the actors, because now we have also SAG in discussions, which have, and there still isn't an agreement, and the agreement was up till the 4th of July. We might be seeing a double strike in the industry in Hollywood, with the actors joining the writers. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where this goes. Probably we'll have updates for you next week. Next week we'll probably know more about this. Guys, I don't know if you want to comment about this. I think we'll go move on. Just wanted to mention this.
Yeah.
No, keep fighting good fire. Keep striking until they get decent pay.
Exactly.
That's what I'm going to say.
Now this is one of two movies we're going to talk about today, which we could have had, but unfortunately we will never see. Because R-rated stuff scares Disney, basically. The first movie I'm talking about is a Boba Fett movie, which, according to James Mangold, was a borderline R-rated spaghetti western that probably scared the shit out of everyone. Obviously, we've got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, directed by James Mangold right now. But it's not his first go-around with the Lucasfilm franchise. Back in 2018, news broke that Mangold had been hired to direct a movie about bounty hunter Boba Fett. Long story short, Disney were scared of releasing a Boba Fett movie because of the failure of the Solo movie. number one, and obviously because it was going to be a close to R-rated movie. Joe, I know you have thoughts about this.
Yeah, I hate that my dream was never realized. Because it sounds really like kind of like formulaic to an extent. I wouldn't have one of my dreams when I heard that there was the possibility of we eventually got the Obi-Wan series, and kind of the less said about that, make of it what you will. But I don't think we ever needed a Boba Fett movie. I don't think we needed a Boba Fett TV series, despite the fact that I loved the way Boba Fett looked. Not a very compelling character, and tough to do a standalone movie with a character you don't know much about. And Robert Rodriguez proved in spades it's even tougher to do a TV series which is even adequate about that character. But that's not to say that I don't like the idea of a spaghetti western Star Wars film. In fact, I love a spaghetti western style Star Wars film.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to Obi-Wan, when I heard the idea floated of a movie or a TV series, like my dream project would be to do a Logan style film, but about Obi-Wan in the aftermath of Order 66. And I'm talking like he isn't even on Tatooine. He doesn't even have a lightsaber, because like the thing people never took into account with Obi-Wan is after Order 66, he's lost his entire belief system has been destroyed by someone who he basically raised, who he saw as a son/brother, and then he has believed he supposedly killed that person. Are you really going to tell me that Obi-Wan is going to find he's going to find solace in the Force and go back to using a lightsaber anytime soon? I think fucking not. I would have loved an Obi-Wan in hiding on a different planet in a Logan style piece where he's having trouble connecting back to the Force because of his doubts in it. No lightsabers, nothing, very grounded, preferably R-rated. It's good to see that someone like Mangold was trying to push something like
Flash
that.
news, Joe.
I never would have expected it to ever see the light of day.
Flash news. That was The Last Jedi with Luke Skywalker.
I know, but we have a Last Jedi hater in here, so we have someone that can't accept character depth and change.
Yeah, but that's exactly what they did with Luke Skywalker. It's like, yes, okay, I'm not interested.
They made him go through traumatic shit, which changed his character. You know.
What was that face, Andrea?
I didn't like
for
that
the listener.
You know, they made him doubt the Force so hard he almost killed his nephew. Not like that's gonna fucking change a person, right? But yes, I wish this could have seen the light of day, because it definitely would have been more fucking interesting than what the fuck they did with fucking Mayor of Tatooine Boba Fett on Disney Plus. But
Boba Fett was really bad.
Boba Fett was fucking terrible.
Not to pile on, because sometimes I feel guilty of piling on shows and movies, and sometimes
it was bad. It was
really bad. So I'm sorry, my Boba Fett was amateur. It was amateur. It felt like an amateur production. I'm sorry.
But we've seen also on Prickly Pears, as someone said, these things are now being made not for the audience, not for the actors, but for the shareholders.
For toys
and merchandise.
Yep.
Oh well.
And with that, we can move on to talk about the second R-rated production we could have gotten, but again,
that sounds so cool. No pre-existing characters and an R rating. God damn, that would have been so
Snyder
cool.
Pitch.
I mean,
Star Wars.
Yeah, now he's doing what's his name?
He's doing Rebel Moon, which is Star Wars without the Star Wars.
Exactly. That will be coming out in December, and I'm very excited for it, to be honest. Unfortunately, it's going to be on Netflix, so no cinema screenings for it. I think that should be a movie we watch in the cinemas, to be honest, because it looks so epic. But anyways, to talk about this production at the end of the year, but it would have been a Star Wars movie had the Justice League director's original plan for the project panned out. The idea for Rebel Moon started out as a pitch for a Snyder-directed Star Wars movie that Lucasfilm heard after Disney acquired the studio in 2012 obviously $4.05 billion. Oh man, George Lucas made the deal of his life. Snyder was in post-production on Man of Steel when he made his Star Wars pitch to Lucasfilm. Snyder said that a Star Wars movie was my original concept for Rebel Moon, adding it was 7 samurai in space. I knew that the origins for George were a lot of these Kurosawa films. And so on and so forth. Anyways, that's the basic idea. Franco.
Snyder, why you do this? Snyder. 7 samurai in space. Jesus Christ.
That sounds so up my alley, it hurts.
Illustra.
We're getting Rebel Moon. So
wait, but would he get to the depth of Kurosawa? No, but would he get the style? Very much so.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
He just needs a really good writing partner. He just needs someone to come in and be like, Zach, you know what? You make everything look fucking sick, and I'll make it compelling. It's
what he's got is moments, not scene. That's I always remember this from I don't know if it was Studio Binder or Corridor Crew. Always name dropping these 2 great YouTube channels. But he said that they made the difference between what is a moment and the scene. A moment is like looks cool but lacks the emotional depth. And there's a story, there's a through line of a story in a scene. In a moment, it's just that looks cool. Okay, but why? Why was it? What? How does it move forward?
But the positive thing about this, because I'm seeing the comments on Rebel Moon, first of all, Charlie Hunnam in another sci-fi production. He loves his sci-fi, so Charlie Hunnam. Secondly, it was Snyder delivered a 172-page draft. At its length, Rebel Moon was clocked around 3 hours. Filmmaker and the studio then agreed to split the project into 2 movies, the first of which arrives in December.
He's getting his own Snyder cut again.
Yeah. Exactly my thoughts.
To be fair, I have mad respect for that he's managed to cut this deal of, look, I'll give you the safe one, but then you need to let me release my own fucking thing. I have lots of respect for that.
Mm-hmm. Snyder, that's the good thing about streaming. So today I think Andreas put a post on Prickly Pears, like what's the future for streaming? And one of his comments was, and my comment was, it's good for like small indie productions, which
that's where I totally disagree with you.
Really?
How does an indie production make any money off being
how is an indie production ever going to make money in the first place?
By going to film festivals and getting picked up by producers and being
exactly,
distributed.
And not on streaming.
But Netflix will pay.
No, but how? No, wait. How much do you think it will pay Netflix when most of the marketing goes on One Piece and Nimona and Rebel Moon?
Yeah, and also
tell me you haven't watched a lot of indie stuff on Net, and you were glad that I have a lot on Netflix.
I genuinely haven't.
There's a bunch of stuff I would have never heard of or watched if it wasn't on Netflix.
Okay, which?
Oh, right now I don't have any.
There's a bunch of them though.
There are. There's a lot of stuff on I would have never seen.
I agree that it can give them a platform, but saying it's a good thing, it's a double-edged sword. Yes, it can provide a platform, but the way these films should get the money that they are kind of owed, because if Netflix buy the distribution rights, they don't need to worry about then sharing whatever this movie is going to make with the people that have made the film. It's a one-time payment. They're like, okay, let's say we buy this film for $500,000. That company gets $500,000, and that goes to the creators of the film. And they're like, okay, it's ours now. We can release it. We can kill it if we want to as well.
Yes, that's the sad part.
But then if you get a distribution partner, like say A24, they do it a lot. They go to festivals, they find a film that they like, they buy the distribution rights. They've obviously bought that, and that money goes towards the creators. But then when they put it out in theaters, they've got to split the ticketing cut with the creators as well. That's how, and the best way for films to get the word of mouth as well is at theaters.
And if anything, most indies that do well, most of the times happen to be horror, especially on Shudder.
Yes,
completely.
That's the only.
Mubi is killing it at the moment as well with
Mubi too.
It's
Yes,
doing with its library.
And the thought I had as well about that is that not every movie is made for cinema. A bunch of movies are made for TV. They're not made
Yeah,
to be released in cinemas. Like
yes,
with
but
the production value and the general quality.
I disagree again. Unless it's a strictly made for TV film, I believe every person setting out to make a film wants to see their film on a big screen, no matter what it is.
You can hope,
funny, I do find this kind of. I mean, okay, because sometimes I see a movie on the cinema which looks like a TV movie, and I see something on streaming. It's like, why wasn't this on cinema?
Yeah. There are a lot from Netflix.
Like
I wish I had gotten the chance to see in the cinema.
Rebel
Extraction.
Yeah.
Extraction 2,
Yeah.
which with all its flaws.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, guys,
That's a great cinema movie.
I know it happened abroad, but The Irishman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest ones I can't understand, and its filmmaker was actually extremely outspoken about it and felt very hard done, was Annihilation by Alex Garland.
Ooh.
I watched that film on a TV, and I was like, "Why the fuck was I forced to watch this on a television?"
Yes, but who invested the money in Extraction and who invested the money in The Irishman with all the de-aging expenses involved? Netflix paid for that too.
Not in the case
Yes,
of Annihilation.
but
Not
then
Annihilation.
again,
No, not in the case of Annihilation. No, but in the case of The Irishman, The Irishman could only have been produced by Netflix.
Netflix are not. Netflix are not.
Movie.
To go back to the original point, Netflix are not producing indie movies that they want to get exposure. Netflix.
They
Netflix
buy
are
the distribution
solely,
rights.
Exactly.
Distribution
what
rights.
Netflix are now producing, because they've said we're going to stop giving millions for directors to do their vanity projects, and we're going to make big budget bullshit instead. We're going to make the Grey Man 1 to fucking 50.
Yes, that's.
You know,
That's one
it's
thing,
it's a double-edged sword.
It is. No, it is a double-edged sword.
And okay, I mean, and with The Irishman, how much of its money got it back? Its budget money got it back.
No one knows. Netflix.
Because at least Apple TV, by producing Killers of the Flower Moon,
released in cinemas.
they're going
That would
exactly.
be the ideal. That would be the ideal. And you know what the weird thing is? The more people watch it in the cinema, the more people are going to watch it on streaming then after.
Yep.
Yes, I think the best way for streaming is, okay, we get the distribution rights, but first we do a release on cinema, and then put it on Netflix.
Yeah. Warner Brothers are doing the exact same thing now as well. With all their films.
Mm-hmm. Air, for example.
Yep.
But Apple TV are too smart for this industry. I'm sorry. They do all the smart things. Their product is really cheap. Like to get Apple TV Plus, it's super cheap. They release all the good stuff in cinemas first.
To be fair, they've got the sales of iPhones funding all of their projects.
No, of course it's cheap. Plus they have those goggles, those $2,000 goggles.
Yeah, I don't know who they're for.
For to watch Mandalorian in Tatooine, apparently.
To conclude this, guys, I don't know if you saw this, but there's going to be 2 cuts, actually. One cut is a movie that anyone can enjoy and watch, and one cut will be more explicit and strictly for adults. Nice. I like that.
I know which cut I'll watch.
I know which cut I'll watch.
So where's the Snyder cut?
The Snyder cut. 4 hours.
It'll be indulgent, but it'll definitely be more interesting.
Definitely. Anyways, to conclude, I never thought we'd be talking about Barney the Dinosaur on this podcast, but I mean, to be fair, one of the first series I ever watched in my life. Because I used to watch a ton of Barney the Dinosaur with my grandparents.
Hold up. Listeners, you have to listen to this byline. Mattel says the Barney movie will be inspired by Charlie Kaufman, while Barbie director Greta Gerwig is planning 2 Narnia movies for Netflix. What?
This is some summary.
That's so summary.
What?
So let's start off with the Daniel Kaluuya produced movie featuring Barney the Dinosaur, which will be an adult, surrealistic, and I love how A24 type is even being used by like.
I hate that term.
No!
I hate in fact, I need to leave the group again because I realized why I left the group in the first place. Can you, all of you, to the A24 group, I'm holding my mic close to my mouth, all of you in the A24 group, go fuck yourself with your A24 vibes. because I'm not here for it.
More vibes.
It drives me. I feel like the grouchy. I'm the youngest person here, and I feel like the grouchy old person because I feel someone come in. They're like, "Oh, can someone suggest a film for me?" Which is like A24. Fuck off. Get a fucking life, all of you.
Look,
just go and find.
And
do you know how many films A24 have made? Are you implying that fucking Everything Everywhere All at Once is akin to The Lighthouse? Because they're fucking not.
Not exactly. Plus that one you heard. By the way, guys, I did finish watching You Hurt My Feelings, and that's a quick review. That's not the best A24 vibes movie, anyway, to be honest. So, but you're right. Joe is right. I have to agree. A24 group, I might think of leaving because they're always fighting off something.
Exactly. Wait, you know what they're talking about? They're talking about stuff like Beef. Like Beef was classic A24 vibes.
Why was it A24 vibes?
Oh wait, yeah, the Screeching Lady soundtrack. The
Euphoria was made by A24. What's your point? The Idol was made by A24. What's your point?
Exactly.
The Idol.
Yes.
Exactly. That's A24 vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, Euphoria was A24. I never watched Euphoria. I don't know. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
You know, what's it? Fucking Swiss Army Man was A24.
Lala Swiss Army Man.
Yeah.
You know,
anyways.
Yeah. So to reiterate, I'm probably leaving that group. Fuck you all. You need to grow up.
I think we should snip this out and post it on the group.
Please
and
do.
we'll get
Absolutely no shame.
No, Andrea, please snip it, post it, and we get engagement.
Yes, absolutely.
Like that. Rage bait. Let's go.
Anyway, so
Andrea, we're not asking, we're demanding actually.
No, not this weekend, because this weekend I have a weekend break. Next week, because this week is super busy.
By the way, when's Dave Issue's interview coming out?
Good question. Probably tomorrow.
Okay, awesome.
And then I release the podcast the day after.
So that will also send him the link.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for. Go check. Actually, no. The podcast is after.
This will be in the past.
So
it's already happened. What did you
go
think?
Go check it out if you haven't watched it. Check it out on YouTube. Previous video.
Exactly. Go check Dave Issue's interview. Tell us what you think. Leave us a comment. Leave us a like. Tell us what news we missed before we continue to our next section.
Well, no,
let's talk
about this news.
Barney the Dinosaur.
We're going through a fucking toy company making another movie.
So
I'm really angry about the A24 thing. I'm sorry.
So I think the expectations at Mattel are that Barbie is going to be a big hit, and I think it is going to be a big hit. But apparently, there's I heard the news yesterday that over 60 movies planned. I think 90 movies planned out for everything. Every single property they have, they're starting to work on a movie. But let's focus on these. So we've got
I hate capitalism.
Barney the Dinosaur, and Mattel Films executive Kevin McKean said of the project, "We're leaning into the millennial angst of the property rather than fine-tuning this for kids. It's really a play for adults. Not that it's R-rated, but it'll focus on some of the trials and tribulations of being 30-something, growing up with Barney, just the level of disenchantment within the generation. It would be so daring of us and really underscore that we're here to make art." This was announced in 2019, by the way. With Kaluuya, Barney was a ubiquitous figure in many of our childhoods, including mine. Then he disappeared into the shadows, left misunderstood.
Yeah, because it came out that the guy in the suit was a pedophile.
Exactly. There was a reason why it went into the shadows.
Is the movie going to go into that? Is that your A24 type of shit?
I mentioned Beef, by the way. Beef creator Lee Sung Jin attached as a writer.
Shit, so now I'm interested.
This is gonna have A24 vibes, and you know it.
Barney Beef.
What else such a good episode before this.
Major Mattel.
Here they are. Here are the film projects I was talking about. Other Mattel film projects include.
Oh my god, the JJ directed
Magic 8
Hot Wheels.
J.J. Abrams directed Hot Wheels film and the
wait till you see
Rock'em
that.
Sock'em Robots movie produced by and starring Vin Diesel.
Fuck
Tom
me.
Hanks is also understood to be attached to a movie featuring Major Matt Mason, an action figure first produced in the 1960s that was supposedly the inspiration for Toy Story's Buzz Lightyear. The other report includes the fact that I think there was an interview also with Greta Gerwig saying that she's looking to expand her style of movies. She's going to be focusing more on big blockbuster film production. And to start off, she's going to start off with C.S. Lewis's Narnia novels. She's looking to write and direct at least 2 films. By the way, one of my favorite movies from my childhood was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. By the way. I love that movie. I love that movie so much. That's such a...
Please, enough with the cinematic universes. Jesus, fuck,
Yeah.
man.
Anyways.
Yeah, today...
I was going to
Lots to
say,
talk about
guys,
here.
welcome. It's the end of culture. Guess what? Toys are the new fucking superheroes.
That's what you get for making Super Mario Brothers such a successful movie. That's what
But
you
that's
get
a
for...
game.
Yes, but you know, everyone is seeing fucking Air, fucking Super Mario Brothers.
Listen, wait, you liked Air, okay?
I
did
liked
not
Air.
like
I loved Air. What else was there? Where like you're focusing on like a product?
Well,
There was so much stuff
Blackberry
here.
is the anti-product movie.
BlackBerry is the anti-product, but there was even Flamin' Hots was quite
Tetris.
quite a hit. Tetris, which was good as well. I enjoyed watching Tetris.
Yeah, but Tetris in a way was not about the game per se. Was
No.
about exactly, and BlackBerry as well was not about how cool the BlackBerry
BlackBerry
was.
is the anti-product movie. It's how you fuck up
Exactly.
a product.
and it's how a move. If anything, Matt Johnson should direct the Barney movie because that's
I'm totally on board with that. Matt Johnson directs the
really
Barney
good.
movie.
I mean, if it's a downfall movie, it might be interesting. To be fair, if they take risks,
let's see. I
thought that statement was really pretentious. Of we're here to make art. I'm sorry, that's big
Yes.
fucking multi-billion-dollar toy company being we're here to make art. I'm like, fucking sure you are, buddy.
Look. To have a name like to have Greta Gerwig directing Barbie, there must be something. Let's see. But we'll speak once we see the movie.
We'll find out in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. We'll see what the movie will. And actually, I'm going to be there to watch it, so I'm looking forward.
Holy shit, Bobby's in 2 weeks on
2 weeks or so.
Friday. 2 weeks on Friday.
Joe. I think I asked you this question already. When does Oppenheimer come out there in Scotland?
Same day.
Same day? Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a fucking great Friday.
No, the Malta as usual fucked it up. That was the main.
It's coming out on the 26th here.
Haha.
You're gonna do a two-fair,
Fucking right. I might do that. if they're that good, I might just do them 4 times back to back.
I'm already imagining the discourse on Twitter, which is the best way to see it. So it's like first see the first act of Barb. No, because abroad there's no intermissions.
No.
But in Malta, that would be it. Because when Oppenheimer comes out, Barbie will still be in cinemas. So you go watch the first half of Barbie, then you go watch the second half of Oppenheimer, and then the next time you first the first half of Oppenheimer, and then go do a second half of Barbie.
Disjointed.
Can you imagine? It's like, wait, where's the nuclear bomb going now? Wait, okay, I'm in the Barbie movie now.
I've decided what I'm doing. So I'm going to take that day off work because it's a Friday. So like work can go fuck itself for that day. I'm going to go to the earliest viewing I can find of Oppenheimer in IMAX. It'll probably be like a 12 p.m. screening. On a Friday, there should be fucking no one there at that time, I'm hoping. I'll do that. I'll get some food after. I'll decompress. Then I'll pick up my girlfriend later, and we'll go to the nicer cinema where they have like nice sofas, like in the city center, and that's where we'll watch Barbie because she wants to watch Barbie in a nicer place.
Nice.
So that will be our date.
Can you say again? Cinema in the city center with nice sofa.
It's called the Everyman.
NBC seats are comfortable.
No, but not. But
They have sofas. They have sofas.
They're not velvet sofas.
No. They're leather
and
sofas.
And secondly, I feel this is possible. If I had to make a suggestion, those sofas should not be
Yes, that's
right.
the issue. That's the
Yeah,
issue. That's
that's
the
the
issue.
problem.
That's why I've never tried them.
But it's I think it's doable. Like if they do a small refurbishment and do a platform. So I'm being constructive here. So I hope they don't stop. Like also,
I've
Andrea.
decided I'm
Oh
going
my
to watch
God.
Oppenheimer twice as well because I'm going to go watch it in IMAX and then Glasgow Film Theatre have it on 70mm film.
Oh,
So
Ooh.
I think it has to
no
be done.
fair. No fair. However, in Malta, I'm not going to watch it in Malta. I think Oppenheimer. I think I'm going to go watch it in Gozo. I think
They
it's
have,
worth
they have a
it
much they have a much better screen. Yeah.
because they have
Yeah.
that beautiful digital 4K. It's beautiful. I've never seen
How the
anything
fuck
that
do
clear.
how the fuck do Eden not have digital 4K yet?
They have digital. Not. It's not. It's not advertised as 4K though. So I'm assuming it's not.
Yeah.
But in
It's
when I
just
watched what did I watch there? She said when I watched She Said in Gozo. Wow, that was stunning. And Creed 3. Ah, my man, that was
yeah, you watched Screen 3,
oh
yeah.
my god, that was so beautiful because that movie was beautiful, like the colors and the way it was shot, beautiful. And like watching it in Gozo in the Cittadella cinema, stunning stuff. That cinema is stunning. So I think I'm gonna go watch Oppenheimer with a couple of my friends in Gozo. Spend the day in Gozo, go for drinks, happy hour, and then Oppenheimer. Oh, sounds like a great day. Wish I could include Barbie on that day as well, but that's Malta. Anyways,
Anyway.
shall we move on to our anticipated list, guys? Really quickly, I'm gonna just skim through mine, and then
I forgot mine anyway.
I found the list. So here are the games I had. So by the way, guys, what we're going to do next? I haven't introduced it. And what we're going to do now, like Joe said at the start, we're going to talk about the movies, games, and the TV series that we had mentioned all the way back in our first or second show in January, where we had talked about like our favorite movies of 2022, our favorite series, favorite video games. We had then done a most disappointing movies, series, and video games. And now, obviously, the third episode was our most anticipated. So we took that list, right? And we're going to go through each one and see whether we watched it, whether we liked it, disliked it, or what we thought. So here are my games, first of all. I had the Dead Space remake, which unfortunately I never got around to playing. I'll try to do that this summer. I'll find the time. Hogwarts Legacy, which was great, released on February 10th, 2023. Great game. Really, really fun time. I'm really looking forward to playing it again in the summer because I kind of felt like I rushed through it a little bit to be able to do the review. But I need to find the time to like play it calmly. And but great game, fantastic RPG. Everything I wanted from a Harry Potter RPG. Legend of Zelda, I never got around to playing. Tears of the Kingdom, unfortunately, released like a month ago. Great, again, looks like a stunning game, but unfortunately never got around to playing it. Starfield, unfortunately, has not released. It releases when does it release, Joe? Like in 2 months' time? August, September? Something like August, September.
I think so.
But it looks okay. It's at 30 frames per second on console. That is a little meh, really.
Yeah.
2023, but I play it on PC, so who cares?
Yeah, 6th September.
PC Master Race. And Diablo 4, which I mentioned at the start. Fantastic game. Everything I wanted from a Diablo game and more. The open world really works well. I'm loving it. I'm really, really enjoying it. The open world, the different regions are great. Different worlds, kind of different. One is snowy. One is. I love that. I love this diversity in worlds. So each region has like their different style. Love it. Colors amazing. The soundtrack is so good, man. The soundtrack in Diablo 4 is man, so good. Those are my games. Joe, your games.
My games were also the Dead Space remake. Haven't gotten around to playing it. Atomic Heart, also haven't gotten around to playing it.
Atomic Heart, I have to play that this summer. I have to write it down.
Sons of the Forest, which I really, really liked. Sons of the Forest is great. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, still playing it now, still very enjoyable. Starfield, which I'm going to have to wait for. Alan Wake 2, which I'm also going to have to wait for with everything we've seen so far. It looks fucking great. and Spider-Man 2, which is also a couple of months away, but also is looking quite good so far.
Mm-hmm. Franco, your games.
Mahjong Candy so far. So no, I mean I might play Diablo 4, but Minya Meta. So we don't know.
If you
So
want a game to play, Diablo 4. Because the thing about Diablo 4 is you buy it and you're gonna have years of content added to it.
True.
Which is a good thing. By the way, tell Miss T I haven't played Atomic Heart. It's on Xbox Game Pass for PC. So basically, I pay for this service, and it's free. It's not free. Obviously, I'm paying for the service, but there you go. Anyway, so those are the games. Series. I had The Last of Us, which we've talked about enough about. Great series. I had some issues with it, but overall, very impressed. Poker Face, which was one of my big surprises of the year. That was a fucking great series, man. It was a great Mystery of the Week series. Slowed down a little midway through, like episodes 5, 6 were a little weak. But then the last 3 episodes were fucking stunning. And Natasha Lyonne, her performance in that was, above and beyond. Great. So highly recommended if you like these Mystery of the Week series. Go watch Poker Face. Oh my God. Why did Joe leave now? The Mandalorian, season 3, which I was really looking forward to because unlike many, I loved the ending of season 2. Like, I know a lot of people hate on the ending of season 2. I loved the ending of season 2. Like the geek in me was like, ah. Anyways, Mandalorian season 3. We know it was a big disappointment. Didn't hate it. Didn't absolutely hate it, but I wasn't the biggest of fan. Succession season 4. For me, it's one of the best seasons of television I've ever watched. Me and Francesca talked enough about that on that episode. Straight Man. I don't know if you remember this one, guys. Straight Man. It's the one with what's his name? Bob Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk. I watched 3-4 episodes, and I got bored and I stopped watching it because it really wasn't anything too interesting. Like, I thought it would click with me because it's about kind of like this English professor who's like the chairman of the English department, who has his issues at school and at college and whatnot. So that's like perfect for me, right? With Bob Odenkirk, like I love Bob Odenkirk, and just never clicked. Like, I never saw any reason why I should watch the next episode, and I eventually stopped. Severance season 2. Oh, Yahastra. Oh, when is that going to come out? And the last series I had on my list was Great Expectations, which Stephen Knight produced Great Expectations, which I saw the reviews and I was like, yeah, fuck no, I'm not watching this. That's the reviews for that. And with Olivia Colman leading. The reviews for that were horrible. Joe, your series.
My series. So my series were mainly like new series coming out. So there was like, I obviously didn't put Barry on the list. I didn't put Succession on the list because I knew that those were coming. I actually didn't put The Bear on the list because I didn't know whether it was coming. It got announced that it was getting a new season fairly late. But The Last of Us was there. I was very happy with that. Mandalorian season 3 can go fuck itself as far as I'm concerned. Poker Face, which I actually never got around to watching, but now that I've gotten my new TV system, I would actually definitely get to that. And the best show to ever be released, The Idol, which is the show that keeps on giving. I need to watch the finale.
You had The Idol on your list.
I had The Idol on my list.
I forgot.
I'm a Euphoria fan. Of course I had The Idol on my list.
Oh my God. Oh, Joe had The Idol on his list. Nice.
I mean, we didn't know anything about it back when we did this list, okay? Its first teaser trailer looked good. Like, it looked beautiful, like the show does.
Franco.
Please don't die. Just more. No, I think Last of Us only. That's. I genuinely forgot, guys. Sorry, I genuinely forgot. But I think Last of Us was one of my anticipated lists, and it was liked it. I quite enjoyed it for a non-gamer. That's it, because I don't watch too many series. Then I think I watched The Bear, and now look forward to watch The Bear season 2, as one should. Started The Bear, so now I'm anticipating the other seasons as well. Yeah, I generally don't remember anything else. Sorry, guys, I didn't do my
We
homework.
were in the studio, remember, Franco, when we did this episode?
I remember, but I couldn't watch it before. I just had to finish some work before, so sorry.
No worries, Franco. With regard to movies, Evil Dead Rise, 2 thumbs up and more. Amazing horror movie. Another, like, I love the Evil Dead series. Is just one of those series where I'm like, this is made for me. And great movie. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which, spoiler for next week, is probably my favorite movie of the year so far. Asteroid City, which for well-known reasons, unfortunately, I cannot watch so far. The rest haven't released, because I have Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which I'm really looking forward to, coming out on July 12th, not 14th.
July 10th.
10th there? I think it's 12th in Malta. I think it's 12th, Wednesday.
So we have to go to Scotland, basically, Andrea.
Oppenheimer, which sad days. I wrote July 21st on my list back in January. I still can't believe it. Barbie. And the first comment I wrote was like, which am I going to watch first, Barbie or Oppenheimer? Decision has been made for me. And obviously, I think I orgasmed enough times during the trailer, Dune Part 2. So most of the movies, unfortunately, I haven't watched because they haven't released. Joe?
So at my number 10, I had Asteroid City, which I have seen, and okay. that's kind of how I feel. My number 9 was Poor Things. Hasn't released yet. Crossing my fingers it comes out whilst I'm at Venice. Really crossing my fingers for that.
That was one on my list as well.
Yeah.
That was very dark as well. Yeah.
My number 8 was Across the Spider-Verse, which I had a very good time at, as we know. My 7, I can't read my numbers. My 7 was Barbie, which I obviously haven't seen yet. 6 was Women Talking, which I liked. I did like quite a bit. Did you guys watch Women Talking yet?
I don't.
I haven't watched this. That's a good movie to watch with my father. Yes. Actually, it's like, because
perfect
that's a
father
really
and
good
son movie.
Yeah,
you'll get why when you watch it.
Oh God, is this another like okay? Okay.
My number 5 was Dune Part 2, which probably Andrea will say that is way too high on the list to put Dune Part 5. Dune Part 5, Dune Part 2.
You pass the Dune Part 5, please, Denis Villeneuve.
My number 4 was Oppenheimer, which obviously I have not seen. 3 is The Killer by David Fincher, allegedly coming to Netflix in October, I believe, or late September. Which again, why the fuck do I have to watch a new David Fincher movie on fucking Netflix?
Was that produced by Netflix?
What?
With Michael Fassbender.
I don't care who it's produced by. I want to watch it in a fucking
If they
cinema.
put the money in, they decide what happens with it.
Yes, but it's a movie. It should be on a big screen. Not some dickhead watching on his fucking Galaxy S fucking shit on a fucking bus.
No. Also, this thing about because they put the money in it, they decide what they do with it, because it's showing so much great the industry with all these decisions, these great decisions.
If I had the money to invest in movies, I would release it in cinemas. But if they're investing their money,
100% guarantee I will put my life savings on it. Every filmmaker going to make a movie with Netflix wants their film to release in a cinema.
100%.
And they should
not. But who's investing in a David Fincher movie?
David Fincher should not be denied that right. One of the best directorial minds that we have should not be denied that right.
I like to think about it as if it wasn't for Netflix, that movie wouldn't have been made in the first place. So
I doubt it.
Yeah, but okay, granted. So why then, if it's such a good movie, why wasted on a streaming service.
Because Netflix don't reason the way I reason, in that first you release it in
No,
cinema.
not to mention
more
the
people
subscription.
will flock to subscribe to watch it.
Yeah, but first put it in cinemas, and then and that's how you make. I'm sorry, I'm not a fucking businessman.
No, I agree with you. I agree 100% with you. But that's
and I'm not. I'm not even a capitalist, and I know better how capitalism works. Put the movie in the cinema. You want your subscriber numbers are going low. Put the movie in the cinema. Oh shit! But you can watch this on Netflix as well later on. Then that's how you get back this number of subscriptions.
Franco, I don't tell my girlfriend how she spends her money. I don't tell you how to spend your money. I don't tell Joe how to spend their money.
No, but the thing is not how you spend your money. You're spending your money, and you're not getting your money's worth whatsoever.
I think Netflix executives will. I mean, I don't know.
Actually, that's another issue that's killing cinemas in America. To be honest, okay, the prices are going high, and then you cannot go into the cinemas. There's also lots of monopolization going on with AMC and whatnot. The things is that the cinema ticket, out of the cinema ticket, you're not getting any good percentage.
You know what
Before
Netflix
it was
should
50.
do? You know what Netflix should do? They should invest in Netflix cinemas, which show Netflix movies. You know what a big success that would be, I think.
No, but that's niche, and secondly, it's antitrust. You know, it goes into monopolization.
But you can show.
There was that idea.
They can show series as well in them.
I mean, a better idea would be if they found a company like, let's say, View Cinemas in the UK, and they're like, okay, we're going to buy shares in View Cinemas, and then our movies will exclusively release in View Cinemas. That makes more sense.
That makes a good sense. I agree. You.
But yes, my whole point of this was I should get to watch a new David fucking Fincher movie on the big screen and not on my television at home. It's a travesty. I don't fucking understand why he must be locked into some kind of contract with Netflix, because he is not happy about the fact that they cancelled Mindhunter. I'm also not fucking happy about that, because I loved Mindhunter. I think he's locked into some kind of contract with them, like what Rian Johnson did, where he has to make like 4 movies for them or something like that. But anyway, The Killer was my number 3. I cannot wait to see that film, because it's David Fincher and Michael Fassbender, and he's making a movie about someone that kills lots of people. I'm 150,000% in. My number 2 should have probably been my number 1. It is now still. My number 2 has moved to my number 1 because I've seen my number 1. But my number 2 is Killers of the Flower Moon by the maestro himself. A film made by a streaming platform that I'm going to see in a theater. You know, the way God intended. By God, I mean Martin Scorsese, because I'm an atheist.
I thought you were saying Tim Apple.
To be clear, I was being devil's advocate. I agree that first.
It's cool. We get it. You're a Netflix fanboy. It's fine. There are people like you in the world. My number 1, guys. My number 1 was Beau is Afraid.
Beau is Afraid.
Yes.
What was the name before Beau is Afraid? Remember?
Disappointment Boulevard.
Disappointment Boulevard.
Yeah. Beau is Afraid is a movie I definitely like. It's a movie I probably think about once a day, but I can't make my mind up on it totally. It's so much
bizarre.
It's
so bizarre.
And when people ask me like, Beau is Afraid, how was that movie? I say Beau is a lot.
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had the time. But on 3 hours, I'll be.
It's available online, so
it is. I don't want to split it up into 2 movies, and
just sit down for 3 hours.
3 hours. I have so much.
If you went to watch it at a cinema, you'd be forced to sit there, be comfortable in a dark room. But because it's on streaming platforms and stuff, you're going to split it up into 2 movies. It's almost like films are meant to be seen in a cinema, right?
Yes, I wish. If Beau is Afraid was out in cinemas now, I would go watch it. I'm going to be honest with you. I would go watch it in the cinema. But the fact that it's on streaming, I'm always like, oh yeah, maybe I'll watch it next weekend, and maybe I'll watch it, and it's always next weekend.
And then Netflix remove it because it makes no money. And
no, it's not on Netflix.
It's not. I know, but I'm just speaking of
Franco,
all streamers at the moment.
Your movies.
No, So the list, basically, much of the list, I think, as far as I remember, Boys Afraid was on it. Killers of the Flower Moons. Much of the movies that are anticipated are coming out later on this year. But I think I saw Boys Afraid. Did it reach my expectations? Not in the way that No, it didn't. But not in the way I imagined, basically.
Yeah.
So sorry, guys, I forgot the list, but mostly it was like yours as well. So most of the time we do agree on something.
Okay,
but that's it.
Mela,
So
for next week, guys, do your homework. We need a top 5 or top 10 top movies so far of the year.
Oh my god! Okay,
top 5 or top 10.
Gonna have like 2.
wait. Was Babylon? Was Babylon?
No,
Babylon was after
no.
the episode. Was last year.
Oh, that's a tough one. I'll let Letterboxd decide.
Babylon was definitely 2022.
I think it's
Okay.
2022, I think. But it's unfair because we got to watch it after we had done the whole top 10 list.
Top 10.
So
yeah, it's a 2022 film.
Still, it's still. I think it could get an honorable mention.
No, it's not. It released in the UK 20th January 2023. Hell yeah,
even
Babylon's
more.
way on my list. Fuck yeah, Babylon High.
wait,
In Malta, it released. It released
in December,
it
eh?
released. Yes, it released
Released in
earlier
December.
than in the UK.
So
How in the goddamn fuck does it have a 56 on Rotten Tomatoes? People don't know what art is. Idiots.
I gave Babylon a 5
mean-
out of 5 on
Fuck
Letterboxd.
yes. Yes. Yes.
How I overhype shit so much when I review stuff.
No, if I could give it 6 stars,
That was not a 5 out of 5 movie. Thinking
it.
about
Absolutely.
it.
It was a
I was
5
going
out
through-
of 5 experience. Is what it was.
That I'll give you. I was going through my list of all the 32 movies I've watched this year. Franco.
7 out of 4. 7 out of 4 rating.
I was going through my list, and then I'll move on after saying this, of all the movies I watched this year. And I reduced the rating for half the movies I watched this year. Like,
Do I have you on Letterboxd? Because I have a feeling like if you overhype stuff, I'll just get angry, and I need more of that in my life.
and I just reduced the ratings for half the movies. It's Ad Lib Talk, the old account.
Ad Lib Talk. Oh, there we go. No, I don't have you. I'm following you right now.
I gave Babylon a 5 out of 5. But from the movies I watched this year, I was going through them now, thinking about what I'm going to comment about, and for the movies that are the anticipated movies, I was like, oh my god, I gave what was it? I gave which movie did I gave? Which movie did I give like 4.5 out of 5? I can't find it.
I'll find it. I'm looking right now. You give the Pope's Exorcist a 3.
Anyways, guys, shall we move on to the reviews? So, for next week, guys, stay tuned. We're going to be giving you our favorite movies of the year so far, whether it's top 5, top 10, top 20. I watched 32 movies in total, so there's not going to be a top 10, definitely. Maybe top 5.
Franco's going to have a top 3, and M3 Gun's going to be in there.
Yep.
Moving on to the reviews. Franco, do you want to give us your review for Sanctuary?
Sanctuary, yes. And you had my feelings. Go and make it quick, guys, and I leave you to it with Indiana Jones. And what was the other movie that you watched, guys? Nimona. All right. So quickly, Sanctuary is the story of. Can you put on the IMDb page, please? It stars. I think it stars Christopher
Abbott.
Christopher Abbott, yes.
Abbott and Margaret Qualley.
Margot Qualley. Christopher Abbott was in Possessor.
Yeah.
Both. So, follows a dominatrix and Hal, her wealthy client, and the disaster that ensues when Hal tries to end the relationship. This was a debut, right? This was a debut movie.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so it's a very interesting movie. Very interesting movie. I enjoyed it. Left me wondering what really happened, which is there hasn't been a movie that made me think like that in ages. except for Boys Afraid, but Boys Afraid made me think a lot. Sanctuary was like, okay. And then I moved on with my life. But okay, so not exactly perfect. I think it could have been a one. I think I would say it was a 1 hour 20 movie rather.
Oh, short, yeah.
It is a 1 hour 36 movie, but it could have been shorter. It could have been shorter. Some decisions I couldn't understand, especially Margot Qualley's character. But the ending was really interesting in how there was this role reversal, and I was wondering whether it was a commentary on capitalism in a sense. This could be taken as a metaphor movie as well. However, I must say that some of the cinematography was really great.
Yeah.
The way that they made use of the one location is amazing. Not many actors in it. Much of the movie rests on the shoulders of Christopher Abbott and Margot Qualley. Margot Qualley, great performance. I have to say Christopher Abbott as well. It's a sort of it is like I don't know if you remember this movie, guys. There was a movie with Samuel L. Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones.
I know which one you're talking about. Sunset Limited.
Sunset Limited.
I really like that film.
It is on the same vein because it is a twofer,
Yep.
and it is like a film theater piece. Would I suggest it? Yes, I would suggest it. Is the rating correct? I would have gone for a 7 if I'm not mistaken. Seven is quite decent.
I felt the same.
So it would be a 3.5 over 5. And I like the color as well. I like the lighting. The lighting was really great. Like I was noticing a lot of stuff, and I think it's a bit of a mind-bending movie as well in itself. I do wonder if the hotel is real or not. You know, it's like if all was just part of a big script. That's it. And then you hurt my feelings. It also hurt my time. I have to say, performance-wise, okay, but story-wise, I was very disappointed. 6.8 is a bit overhype. I'd give it a 6. I told you guys, Woody Allen, with all his flaws, this kind of movie would have chewed it and made a good movie out of it. Was surprised this was directed and written by Nicole Hofcerner of she made what's it called, the Ridley Scott movie that was written with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
The Last Duel.
The Last Duel.
What?
Yep. She has a writing credit of The Last Duel.
Okay.
Oh, she was the one who wrote the female point of view.
Oh, and she wrote Catch
Yes.
She was the one who wrote the female point of view. Now I remember. Yeah.
Can you ever forgive me what's her name? McCarthy.
Yes, Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy. You hurt my feelings. Honestly, I find this kind of characters insufferable. You know, the story basically, a novelist's long-standing marriage is suddenly upended when she overhears her husband giving his honest reaction to her latest book. Even the byline is not really.
Does not sound
sounds
interesting
cringe
at all. Yeah, like
I
have first world problems.
And this was a really good mistake because I was thinking no hard feelings and I got confused with no hard feelings and you hurt my feelings. And like I said to Joe, like I would have been better off watching No Hard Feelings.
Probably, yeah. It's a good, funny film.
Yeah. Guys, I mean, it says 6.8, most probably would hit. In all honesty, it didn't hit. Like sometimes the secondary characters were better. I didn't exactly see the focus, if it was on her husband or on her as well. And it reminded me of On the Rocks. It's like, why should I care, guys? Why should I care about bourgeois ennui, you know? And some even their son made the comments like, "Oh my god, I feel like a third wheel in this movie." It did made me feel like a bit like a third wheel myself. Huh? Okay, I'm not gonna keep on shitting on this movie. Some people might like it. I wouldn't recommend it though. There's 1 hour 30 minutes can be spent better off. Like if you want a really good 1 hour 30 minutes movie, is that one with reality?
Reality, yeah.
That's a 1 hour 30 movie well spent. Reality, or Sunset Limited, or even Sanctuary.
Evil
That's
Dead.
it from my review, guys. Evil Dead. Oh shit, yeah. I still have to get on to watch that. That's all for my reviews, guys.
Okie
I was
dokies.
planning to watch Nimona, but time is against me.
All right.
Anyway, guys, thanks for this episode. Thank you for keeping me company. Take care, guys. Please appreciate life. I'm ending it a bit on a downer, sorry, but do generally just please take care of yourselves. It's not just my friend. Apparently, two other people suddenly passed away. Young people as well. It was a very scary moment in Malta. Just guys, take care. Be healthy as much as possible. Take care of your mental health, and yeah, keep on watching movies. Keep on discussing movies. Keep on making art. Keep being great filmmakers. Thank you guys for being my friends and being my fellow film critics. And good night, good luck, and enjoy the rest of the show. And stay tuned for the next What is the Ad Lib Podcast All About story.
Ciao, Franco.
Ciao, guys.
Remember,
Joining
Franco,
us.
remember, €50 if you get
50
someone to record a video.
Ridley Scott. Listen,
Doesn't have to
if
be
not
Ridley
Ridley
Scott.
Scott,
Doesn't have to be Ridley Scott.
maybe Joseph Quinn might be up for it.
If it's a Hollywood celebrity of any kind, unless it's David Williams, any of them. Actually, David Williams or Russell Crowe. It can be anyone apart from them.
Well, yeah, Russell Crowe. I'll take Russell Crowe. I love Russell Crowe, man.
No, he's washed up. I don't care about him anymore.
No, he's not.
Yes, he
I
is.
love Russell
Name
Crowe.
the last noteworthy thing he did.
Hope's Exorcist. That is fine.
That is not. That is like me telling you that the shit I took this morning is noteworthy. I'm sorry.
It was not bad at all. It wasn't bad. I was surprised by how decent it was. I'm not joking.
I mean, if you're speaking of cinematography, that's another cinematographer to watch out. Khalid Botaseb.
I followed him on Instagram for a while.
Oh, he's so great,
Very
man.
good.
And anyway, once I leave, I'm also leaving the A24 group. I'm following Joe's advice as
Yeah,
well.
I'll do that right now as well. I'll do it live on air. Let's go.
Okay, let's do it live on air. I'm doing the same.
A24.
So A24 film group.
Mm-hmm. Here I go. Joined. Leave group.
Joined and leave group.
There we go. Let's see. And they want to know why spam, not right for me, feels unsafe, harmful, or offensive content. Can I say all of these?
No, why is it telling me joined? No, it's not joined. Okay. No, it didn't ask me why, so they didn't really miss me. Okay.
Good riddance.
Anyway.
You know what we'll talk about next week, guys? We'll talk about this article from Collider.
15.
For our Spotify listeners, 15 films that give off A24 vibes.
A24 vibes, but aren't actually A24.
We are in a dire place for journalism and film journalism, clearly. The need is dire for someone to do something.
Look, but you can get a room in Western Dragonara, so not exactly dire, basically.
I'm going to petition them to stop using Collider as our news source from now on.
Anyway, ciao, guys.
Ciao, Franco.
And
so,
see you next week.
See ya. Moving on to the next movie, Nimona, which, I've been hyping up a lot. Every time a trailer comes out, I love the look at once, like instantly the look of the characters and the look of the world. Had me really excited for it. But I honestly didn't know it was going to be this good, because I loved Nimona. I really had a good time. On Letterboxd, I gave it a 4 out of 5. Probably could have been higher. I'm trying to keep them a little lower, because sometimes I tend to overhype movies too much after I finish watching them. But I had a really good time watching Nimona. The backstory behind Nimona is almost as interesting, because it is originally designed and written as a science fantasy graphic novel by N.D. Stevenson, who developed the story of this shapeshifter who joins supposed villain Bannister Blackheart in his plans to destroy the over-controlling institute. Anyways, so Stevenson wrote this as part of his thesis, apparently, which is very interesting, as his senior thesis. Then eventually an agent reached out to him, and they released it. HarperCollins released it in print form in 2015. Now, that was then acquired by 20th Century Animation. Production on the film was initially cancelled after the Walt Disney Company acquired Fox, and Walt Disney Company apparently noticed that there was a big focus on this was going to be a movie basically focused on queer characters, that there were going to be kisses between same-sex characters and so on. And there are written reports and quotes from people who worked on this production, that when these storyboards, or when these scenes were described to executives, they were definitely not impressed, and they wanted a much a very different movie. It was scrapped. Fortunately, Netflix picked it up. Thankfully, Netflix, together with Annapurna Pictures, picked it up, and then it was released on Netflix like a week ago, I think it was. Anyways, I watched it, and I'm so happy I watched it, and I'm so happy I hyped this up a lot, because this is a really well-made movie. It's a really well-made movie. First of all, the animation is bloody stunning. Like, the animation looks so good, and I'm glad it's a different style of animation to the kind of like the Spider-Verse style of animation, because now everyone's going that route, right? Everyone's trying to copy that. No, this is its own thing. And the animation style is beautiful. It's stunning. So animation looks great. The world design is really interesting. So this is a sci-fi world with lots of futuristic stuff. You've got the whole like the Blade Runner style of all those beautiful lights and so on. But at the same time, you've also got some medieval elements in it, where you've got the knights with the armor using swords. It's a fascinating mixture of the two. And you never think of, but would this really exist? Because it's at least I was never like, in my head, I tend to do this a lot. Like, but this was never really happen. The world is so fantastical that you're like, you've got the shapeshifters changing into different creatures, and it's just like so much creative stuff is going on screen all the time that you're like, just enjoy the ride. But I love the mixture of sci-fi with medieval. When I was young, I used to design like worlds. I used to think about them in my head and then draw them or write about them. And this was one of the first things I ever like thought of and designed, like a science fiction world with medieval elements. So I was happy to see this on screen, because it was kind of like stuff I had imagined when I was a young kid with a lot of creativity. So I love the world, and I love kind of like the lore that is developed. The voice acting is great. The voice acting is fucking incredible. Really enthusiastic, really powerful voice acting. The story itself is really interesting. So we've got this knight, Ballister, in this futuristic medieval world, who's framed for a crime he didn't commit. And the only one who can help him prove his innocence, and the only one who tries to help him prove his innocence, is Nimona, a mischievous teen who happens to be a shape-shifting creature he's sworn to destroy. And in that is the whole message of the movie, right? Which I don't want to spoil because Joe hasn't watched it. But there are a lot of very powerful, very emotional messages. Some of the messages are like, wow, that's some good stuff there that they included. And like this movie touches on a lot of important themes, like political themes, whether it's racism and misogyny, whether it's the idea of open borders and other stuff, which I don't want to get into because I'll spoil the movie. But it's a lot of good stuff, lots of powerful themes it touches on. The story develops well. It's not a very long movie. It's 1 hour, 41 minutes. I thought the pacing was very good. So yeah, overall, I'm very, very happy with this movie. Glad I got to watch it. By the way, Chloe Grace Moritz, her voice acting, man, she's really good.
Talented actor.
Really, really, really good. So yeah, really good stuff. Riz Ahmed, obviously, also very good and very, very, very. Again, like it feels like a true passion project. This movie, it feels like a true passion project. Like everyone working on it really gave their all to make this like the best thing they could. And yeah, highly recommended. Go watch it. Pay attention to the themes of this movie because there are some very, very good themes, very positive themes. Lots of positive messaging. I was very worried that the character of Nimona would be annoying because at the start she is just a little bit annoying, but the way she develops, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Really good stuff. So I'm happy with Nimona. I'm glad I hyped it because it turned out to be a great movie. So that's Nimona. Moving on to the last movie of the day, right? Indiana Jones is the last movie, right, Joe?
It is, yeah.
So we'll end the day with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I'm exhausted, but to be honest, same energy of this movie. So, Joe, your thoughts on Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny?
Yeah, I'll say, even like though this has apparently had pretty poor box office returns, the best part about going to this film is that I went on a Saturday in the middle of the day thinking it would be fairly empty, and it was a full house. Like, I think one of the few screenings I've been to in this country where it's been totally full. It was just nice to be around people in the cinema. It's one thing after COVID I force myself not to take for granted, that I'm in a cinema and it's full of people and I'm not wearing a mask and there's like no separation and all that other fucking bullshit we had to go through. But Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, we've heard my hot take already. We won't go there again. I was going to say, while the hot take, this is the third best Indiana Jones. It's not the third best Indiana Jones movie. This is an extremely inoffensive film in every way. 6.9 is high. If you ask me, it is ever so slightly high from what I would rate it. I'm gonna start with the good. The good, Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is definitely enjoying himself in what is most likely going to be his last role as this character, and he's doing a bit more with it than he's had to do in recent years, because I feel like people are kind of casting Harrison Ford to be grumpy old white guy, which he does have grumpy old white guy energy in this film, but he's got a little bit more to do as well at the same time. Actually, one thing which I think was good, and Franco mentioned it earlier, it was good, but it was weird at the same time, and I'll explain why it was weird. We obviously know that there is a digitally de-aged Harrison Ford in this film. Now, as far as digital de-aging goes, this was probably the best one I've ever seen in terms of like its uncanniness. But then the problem with that was it had old man Harrison Ford voice.
Yes, the voice ruined it.
The voice, like for a moment when you first see the face, I was like, "Holy fucking shit!" I could barely tell that wasn't actually young Harrison Ford. But then he opened his mouth, and I was like, "There it is. There's the weird thing."
The voice ruined it. No, two things ruined it for Ara. First of all, I'm the guy who thought the giraffe on The Last of Us was CGI. So I'm the last person to talk about CGI, to be fair. But when I saw the face, I was like, I can't judge this because I know it's CGI. So obviously, but it was fine. It didn't bother me. It wasn't like in The Irishman, for example. Or
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh
but like that's what I mean when I say it was the best one we've seen so far. It didn't look bad, but I obviously know it's not young Harrison Ford.
The other thing that's ruined it for me was him running on a CGI train.
That looked terrible. I was
Looked
gonna.
awful.
I would like the
That
run
looked
just
awful.
looked ridiculous.
Oh, it looked awful. Looked awful.
Which I can't understand why. How come in video games with motion capture, and obviously it's all graphically generated, how are we able to get video game characters to move so naturally, but then we can't do the same thing when we create CGI characters for a film?
Because it's not CGI. It's him doing the running, right?
No,
It's
it's
the
not.
actor doing the run.
No, absolutely not. That was all CGI.
Doing the running. That wasn't.
The first. Are you talking about the first part where he first gets out and you see him run across the top of the train, like from a wider
Yeah.
angle? Yeah, that was all CGI.
That was all CGI.
All CGI. The only
Okay,
stuff where it's
all
like
right.
actual actors is like the more close up stuff.
All right. Okay.
But for some reason, making like characters run as CGI models has never looked good in a film ever. It always
No.
looks fake and floaty and strange, and
Mhm.
I don't fully understand why. Is it not motion captured? Surely,
don't know.
right? Like I mean, I don't know. I won't claim to know how this stuff works, but yes,
This is reminding me of Jedi Fallen Order. Jesus, the running in that was awkward as
yes,
well.
yes. But yeah, on the controversy of the de-aging, it probably the best de-aging we have seen. The voice
Agreed.
kind of made it fucking strange. I don't know how then you explain Mads Mikkelsen looking exactly the same, but that's a whole different thing. My biggest gripe with this film, and like even Franco touched with it on the Chris Stuckman review, I didn't go into this film expecting to get the magic of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, because that was the other Indiana Jones movies didn't capture half of the magic of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like Raiders it's a special film, lightning in a bottle kind of thing. But my biggest issue was I don't really care about any of the action in this film. Like none of it. Like I couldn't, like, if you told me like, oh, what's your favorite action set piece from this film? They're just not that memorable.
Because the action, nothing special happens in the action scenes. That's a big gripe I have with this movie as well.
Yeah, it's also pretty stakeless as well.
So no, the stakes are there.
I completely disagree there. I
Going
never
back
felt...
in time and powering up the Nazi Empire up to 11. There are stakes there.
No, but I mean, like, obviously they're not going to fucking get away with it.
No, man, none of the Indiana Jones movies.
But that's what I meant by stakes. In fact, I mean, like, okay, we'll say from now there's going to be giant spoilers in this review.
Oh, shit. I already spoiled it.
Yes, well, I mean...
Oh, damn. Even in the trailer, it's spoiled already because...
yeah.
Oh, it's mentioned in the trailer anyways.
From here on out, very specific spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film, don't listen to this part. And if you don't care, I guess, continue listening.
So to conclude, Joe, let's conclude this part then. So your final rating, and then we'll get into spoilers.
Final rating, it's probably a 3 out of 5. So it's a 6 out of 10. And that's because, like, it's not... Like, there's not enough bad in it where I'm like, you really didn't need to make this, and there is some good in it, and like some of the writing, like what I'll say about the writing is it's not the most compelling, but it's nice and snappy at least, and some of like the grips are funny. It just kind of is what it is.
So to conclude this part of the review, then we'll get into some spoilers. Overall, I had a decent time. This was a very harmless movie. Going into it, I saw a lot of hate for it on Twitter. I was like, Jesus, I think I'm going to hate this movie. I didn't. I thought it was a fine movie. There was a lot of controversy about Phoebe Waller-Bridge being super annoying in this movie. She was one of the best parts of the movie, in my opinion. She was super charismatic, as is to be expected from her. Yes, her character was not written to be a nice character, but she's a good foil for Indiana Jones in this movie, I think. And the development works fine for me. So I actually quite enjoyed her performance. What else is there to say? I mean, like you said, Harrison Ford shows he's having a good time in this movie, which is a good sign. I was also very worried that he was going to be super grumpy all the time, because that was another complaint I read. He wasn't. Like, he was grumpy in the first opening 15 minutes, once he gets into the action, you can tell this is a guy having fun.
Yeah.
Who's trying to relive like the, he's not 30 years old anymore. He's 80. So obviously those impacts have to be, addressed by this movie. So one of the problems with this movie is that all the action scenes involving Indiana Jones as an 80-year-old are him driving, because that's the only action he can do in reality, which is they're not very interesting car chase sequences. That's the problem. But let's get into the spoilers. So Joe, what did you want to mention related to spoilers?
So in the spoilers, when I said like there's no stakes, I knew nothing bad was going to happen. The only time I thought they were going to do something like fairly risky, and then they don't, is when Indy wants to stay with Archimedes once they've gone back in time. Like, he's accepted that he's probably going to die and he's going to stay there. At that point, I was kind of like, kind of ballsy, but also Phoebe Waller-Bridge, you're doing the no time to die thing again. And that's why, like, I don't really like the ending of the film. It doesn't, to me, that doesn't close Indy's chapter, and it doesn't set up anything new. Because for me,
the third movie closes so much better.
Yeah,
the ending in the sun with the sunset.
Yeah,
that's such a beautiful ending.
I felt like him grabbing the hat again off the balcony was just like, to me, that told me like, we're going to see this again, kind of thing. Otherwise, why the hell did he be grabbing the hat? And I'm going to come with my biggest gripe with the Indiana Jones franchise as a whole, not from Raiders, from everything after Raiders of the Lost Ark. Because in Raiders of the Lost Ark, he sees some wild, like, supernatural shit. This guy isn't allowed to be a skeptic on anything fantastical happening with the stuff he has fucking seen. But every single movie, he's like, no, it can't be. This is
magic doesn't exist.
Exactly. You've seen aliens.
Fuck's sake, man.
You literally in the Last Crusade, you witnessed the Holy Grail. Your father was going to die, but because he was within the Holy Grail, you saw him get healed in front of you, and you're going to be a skeptic about a dial that can apparently take you back in time. I would be like, no, you know what? That sounds very possible. But that's just a gripe with the series as a whole. I feel really strangely about this film because like it was cool seeing the siege of Syracuse.
And that leads me to one thing I was thinking of during the movie. So as they were talking about the siege, I was like, it would be fucking cool. It would be really fucking cool. And I was thinking of time travel. It would be really cool. If he time travels back, goes back in time and goes to see the siege, that would be bloody awesome. I'm like, oh man, they'll never do that. They're not that ballsy. They're probably going to end up going back to 1939. And we have another scene all taken. And maybe they meet Hitler, and again, see, he's signing his book again. But they actually do it.
Yeah,
they go back to the siege and they show the siege, and there's some, it's the CGI is fine in those scenes.
Yeah,
there's some interesting action going on. It's big scale, so I think it was a very ballsy decision to have them time travel back to 13th century.
Yeah,
and I mean,
it feels earned because like it is kind of, it's a swing on the level of like Aliens and Crystal Skull, but this one feels earned because within the laws that the film has created, it makes logical sense.
It does makes 100%. And having fucking Nazis shooting at the wrong.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was amazing stuff. I was like, oh, this is cinema.
Do you know though? This
is cinema.
This is not the way I would have done a closing chapter on Indiana Jones, though, and I'm going to hit you with another hot take of a series which, unfortunately, it has a movie, but a fucking terrible movie. But it started off as a video game, which it took the Indiana Jones formula and applied it to video games, and in my opinion, perfected the story around it, which was the Uncharted series. Because Uncharted is, by all means, it is somewhat a rip-off of Indiana Jones. It is treasure hunter, and it has fantastical elements in it related to sacred treasures. But, I mean, have you played Uncharted 4?
Have I played? Good question. I don't know. I played a couple of the Uncharted games. Let me tell you which ones I played. Games, because I'll notice
Uncharted 4 was the final one, so at least for Nathan Drake.
Well, Drake's Fortune I played. Among Thieves I played. Drake's Deception I haven't played. Golden Abyss I haven't played. Fight for Fortune, ever heard? Thieves End, no, I haven't played it.
Yeah, but like the first 3 Uncharted games were very Indiana Jones in the fact that there was a treasure and there were supernatural elements. But then, like, it's not really a spoiler for the final game. They kind of made the final game a lot more grounded, and rather than about a fantastical treasure, more about Nathan Drake himself and his legacy and his life. And there is a treasure in it, not so much on the supernatural side. Like, it kind of goes into that direction, but not really. That's what I would have wanted from a kind of final Indiana Jones movie, of what is this guy's legacy. Like, I didn't have to see him go on a plane with Nazis again, and this time go back in time to the Siege of Syracuse, despite how big a swing that was. I feel like you can make a much more modern Indiana Jones movie, which, like, what is this character's legacy? What does it leave behind?
Fair enough.
But at the same time, I had a decent time at the cinema. One thing I will say about it, though, criticism: it's fucking long.
Oh my god, it's so long. They could cut out a whole hour from this. Like,
yeah, it is fucking long.
Ara, I know. Obviously, I know what they were doing with the whole train sequence, and you know, there were moments where I like listening to the music, and I'm like, yeah, it's young Indy again on screen.
Yeah.
But the CGI train, oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Also, like, I know I was talking about, like, with films, you have to, like, suspend belief and stuff like that. But, like, am I being a bit nitpicky when I say that the Mads Mikkelsen character, from the injury he sustained on that train, he should have a pretty fucked up face, right? Like, the guy hit a fucking...
He should be dead.
Well, yes, but, like, if he's gonna live, like, at least make him look like evil Nazi supervillain kind of thing, like, with, like, a giant, like, brain, like, hanging out of his head or something.
Probably an agreement with the actor when they sign the contract that they can't ruin it. They have to show his whole face.
But Mads Mikkelsen has done wild stuff like that before.
But because it doesn't make sense, the fact that
at least give him some kind of, like, scarring or something. Yeah, like
I would imagine it's an agreement with the actor.
The guy hit, like, a wooden pole doing, like, 120 miles per hour. Which, as you said, he should be fucking so... He should have been like the kid in Hereditary. He should have been decapitated. Like... But, like, yeah, that was one of my gripes. I was kind of just like, this, like, despite Mads Mikkelsen being good, I was like, this is kind of like Baby's first villain in a way.
He's not given the best lines. Let's put it that way. We know Mads Mikkelsen can do a much more intimidating villain than that. He's like, it's fine, it's nothing bad, but you just know he can do much better than this. What about the music, Joe? And we'll close it with that.
Weird choice with the music.
Hey.
That's all I'll say. Like,
it's like,
did we need a strange update on one of the most, like, it's like, you don't fucking remix the Star Wars opening crawl, you know? There's just something you don't do it. Like, even Jurassic World hasn't done it, where they've changed the music for Jurassic Park. Like,
oh, that's really weird.
It's like they tried to update it with, like, a different kind of, like, inflection stuff, but it just didn't work. Like, as it kept coming up, I'm like, oh, okay, here's the theme music, but then it's like, no, it's not.
It's weird, and I mentioned this at the start. And they used the theme in, like, the weirdest moments.
Yeah.
Like, there was one moment he just drives away and, like, like, is this the moment to play that song? I don't know. I didn't get how am I going to put it? When I'm watching... Sorry, Joe?
I just got David, friend of the show, my Irish friend. He's a huge Indiana Jones fan. And he had asked for my reaction as soon as I had seen Dial of Destiny. And I'm like, it's definitely too long. Like, it's pretty good, probably better than Crystal Skull, like on the whole. Like I said, like a solid like 3 out of 5 kind of thing. And he like then that got him like hyped, knowing that like I'm not like a diehard fan, and he went to go and see it. And he messaged me just now, and I'll give you the rundown. He said, "Just saw Dial of Destiny. Need to sit with that for a little bit. But fuck, man, that last hour to an hour and a half, fucking hell, did not like that at all. Was pretty shite. Fuck me. I'm not even disappointed because I didn't expect much, but I'm mad that it exists."
Oh. Oh, the siege part was for me was the best part. I was like laughing, but I was like, "Oh my god, they're really ballsy doing this."
Yeah, I didn't like the kid's sidekick. He got on my nerves.
Oh, the kid! Oh,
He just
Madonna.
wasn't a very good actor as well.
But I'm always like, is it because he's a kid? So I hate. I always mention this in my reviews. I try to avoid talking about kid actors and kids in movies
But it's
because
not
kids
really
tend to annoy me. I know
But
I'm a teacher.
you do
I'm not
get
supposed to say that.
really good kid performances though nowadays. This just
Yes.
wasn't a good one.
Like with Leia, for example, in Obi-Wan, I was like, oh my
That
God,
was a
I can't stand her.
particularly bad one.
I can't stand her. And everyone was like, oh, she's like the perfect Leia. And I'm like, is it because I'm fucking me?
No,
Because I'm
she
hating
was
her?
she was particularly bad. And
But yeah.
I like the Obi-Wan show to an extent.
Maybe it's the moments she had as well. But yeah, the kid in this was, oh my God, really annoying. Really annoying. To conclude, actually, because I wanted to ask about this, what do you think about the direction? Because this is obviously the first non-Steven Spielberg movie, Indiana Jones movie. James Mangold, he's a great director.
Yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing, but he's obviously doing stuff according to what is written. And I don't know what it was when I was there. Like the action scenes going on, I was kind of just like, okay, here comes like another kind of like chase, because they were all basically chases. Every single action scene was just chase scene after chase scene after chase scene, which like is a very Indiana Jones kind of thing. But again, like it's lacking things that make Indiana Jones Indiana Jones. Like one of the most iconic moments in film history is, I believe it's Raiders. It's definitely Raiders, where the scene where he's like in Arabia or something, and he's like on that chase, and the guy like stands in front of him with the big sword and does all the moves, and he just pulls out the gun and shoots him. We don't have those.
No.
We don't have anything like this in this film. Just a simple like that. That's what makes the character of Indiana Jones. The fact that this guy's coming at him with this giant scimitar, he's like swinging it around, and he just shoots him.
But that's because that is not James Mangold's style, which is another issue I have with this movie. Listen, I love most of James Mangold's movies, and he knows how to do action. He definitely knows how to do action. But I feel like he was a little shackled in this movie, that he had to follow a certain style, which is not his. And you can tell with some of the camera movements. They're like classic Indiana Jones camera movements, the moving away from the window and focusing in on the dialogue, which is going on in the room. Yeah. There are a lot of shots, but you can tell James Mangold was shackled in this movie, and there was stuff which isn't his stuff. It's just he's forced to do this. Now I'm forced to do it in inverted commas because obviously he's being paid a ton of money for this, but I don't think this is 100% James Mangold. Like, I think if he had 100% creative freedom on this, I think we'd get a very different movie to what we got.
Yeah.
At least direction-wise and action-wise. And also, I don't remember, but has James Mangold ever done like elements of humor in his movie? Because I don't remember that at all.
Yes, he did. In Ford versus Ferrari, you had Christian Bale.
What humor was there in?
Providing a lot of comedic relief. Even the scene where Matt Damon takes the CEO of Ford in the car and stuff.
Yeah, and he drives him around. Yes, fair enough. I was thinking maybe he's not very good with the humor, because I didn't laugh that much in this one. I laughed like unintentionally at the Nazi. And I guess there was an element of humor in that, the Nazi shooting on the Roman legionaries.
Yeah,
I was crying in that scene. Anyways, so overall, harmless movie. I'm not upset. I went to watch it in the cinema. Anything but.
It
had a decent time.
As I said before, lukewarm as fuck. It's just fine.
It's fine. I don't think it deserves the hate it's getting. Unfortunately, it's become another one of those another piece in the culture war. Unfortunately, It's the reality of movies today. They're you take either one side or the other.
Yeah, such is life.
Such is life. Shall we close it here, Joe? I think this is a good time.
Let's do it.
It's very late. And,
Yeah, I'm
I
tired.
have to wake up early for work tomorrow. So first of all, thank you to our viewers and listeners. This was quite a long episode, actually. We've been haven't had this long of an episode in quite some time, but we had a lot to talk about as well, to be fair. So thank you to our viewers and listeners. Don't forget to like, subscribe, the usual stuff. I'm going to be putting in more efforts and making those short 1-minute videos now that obviously school will be closing in a few days' time. So you can look forward to that. Thank you, Joe, as always.
Pleasure as always.
Thank you to our viewers and listeners. And with that, peace out. Ciao, ciao, guys.
Peace out.